point at which one of you tells me on a text if I'm on you to be or not. You know what I mean? Ishke fede pima lo ho papare. Hey, everybody, AM 1230, WJOB 104.7 FM, the voice and face of the Calumet region. I'm Jim Dedelow, host of Jed and Verley in the Calumet region. Let's go right to it. Let's take a look at what's going on. Really a beautiful morning. It surprisingly decent traffic and decent weather. Right now, 294 around the city looks pretty good. 80 going east and west looks good. Nobody's texting me if I'm on U2B. What is wrong with you people, huh? Am I on YouTube or not? I just go for Molluski. And anyways, 294 around the city looks pretty good. 80 going east and west looks good. To Bishop Ford, Dan Ryan, Skyway Toll Road, Borman, I-65. They're all moving along pert darn well. In terms of the weather, what a beautiful morning. I got up and did my workout over here. You don't realize that certain little things can really change the quality of your life. You know what I mean? And for me, one of them is that there is the nicest workout place in America, really. It's one of the largest. All right, let's see. Who's going to text me first? Braz, I knew you'd be with me, buddy. Thank you. I appreciate it. I don't appreciate that I'm jealous of you in warm weather, but that's how that works. All right, let's take a look at what it's really a nice morning. Right now it's 39 degrees. It's been a while since the snow melted, and then that's what's going to happen today. So just understand, you know, I put some boots on, but I think I might go back as soon as the show's over and put some rubber boots on because everything is melting and there's like puddles everywhere, and then you get wet socks at like 8:30 in the morning. That sock never fully dries out, and the rest of your day you're like, I'm just a little bit uncomfortable and I can't remember why. Oh, my socks are wet. Or even worse, one sock's wet. Then because it's going to get all the way up to 47 degrees today. 39 here at the Strack and Van Til Studios. 38 degrees at Labor's Local 41, which is the center of the universe. And it is 39 degrees at Plumber's Local 210 in Maryville. That's your high tomorrow, partly sunny and colder, and a high of 39, and then mostly cloudy and a high of 39 on Thursday, and then clouds and sun on Friday and a high of 47. So extreme difference from where it was 2 weeks ago when Verley and I came in, and it was minus 3 degrees. When we take a short break, we'll catch up. Let's talk about our good friends at Strack and Van Til, and then the Roofers 26, Tech Credit Union, and then there's that not made for radio Calumet Breweries commercial, but you kind of get it after a while, you know what I mean? Call an Uber.
It's the simplest expression. The smallest thing that changes everything. A smile. So easy. A smile lights it up, apologizes, and welcomes unconditionally. Because the shortest distance between two people
Have a great day.
is a smile.
Thank you.
Strack and Van Til, where making life easier starts with a smile.
For over 100 years, Roofers Local 26 has been keeping Northwest Indiana dry and safe. Since 1919, our highly trained members have built a reputation for skills, safety, and reliability. With a 4-year apprenticeship and certifications in OSHA safety, first aid, and CPR, we deliver quality you can trust. When you need roofing done right, choose Roofers Local 26, protecting what matters most for over a century. For more information, visit www.roofers26.com.
Tech Credit Union supports the essential role of union labor in building strong communities. That's why we offer hassle-free banking, financial empowerment, and a commitment to your success. Save for the future, handle life's challenges, and trust a partner that stands by hardworking union members. Tech Credit Union, the better option for you and your money. Visit techcu.org or call 800-276-8324. Tech Credit Union, supporting union families every step of the way.
But it's time. You gotta catch up. Yeah. I'll catch up with you. I'll be right back.
I'll see you in a minute.
Yeah.
Well, what's up, boy? Hey, Ryan. Not tonight, man. Not tonight. Oh, yeah. You guys are right. Hey, come on. Let's go. Come in.
All right, sorry about that, guys. Took a little longer than I thought back in the kitchen. Hey, everybody, everything's moving along, and Verley Suggs is, you guys heard that? I have weather and traffic. Beautiful day today, high 47. Right now it's 39 degrees here at the Strachan Van Til Studios. Clouds and sun. I have 39 tomorrow. Traffic is really light right now. I'm not exactly sure why. Well, really, if you think about it, we're at that time of the season where construction hasn't started, but it's a decent weather day, so that hurts. Verley, how are you?
I'm fantastic, Jim. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. Need me to turn that up or down?
No, it's perfect.
It's perfect. Hey, we got a lot to get to, but first of all, how are you?
I'm fantastic, really. I mean, I'm loving this weather. When it turns 40, I feel like it's spring already.
I got to tell you that it coming out of the Y this morning, I mean, it's been such a
That
problem.
place is packed this early in the morning, always.
I don't know what people are talking about this early either, man. I'm like, come on, man. You know, people are laughing and they're talking and stuff.
And you want quiet, right?
And I'm like, I forgot my headphones today, so I can usually kind of, zip it out, but.
I don't have to be zoomed in.
I know, sorry about that. I'm zooming you in and I don't mean to.
Zoom me out.
Yeah. We are controlled by college students. Adriana is still in school. Matt Kaufman is still in school. Well, Adriana's kind of school. I think she's already graduated, or she's going to graduate or whatever.
She hasn't graduated.
Yeah, but she's close. And Matt Kaufman's close, and Lynette Lopez already graduated, and we got Joe Cimino just graduated. But they're all taking classes in one form or another. So Adriana had an assignment due at 7:45 this morning.
Oh, wow.
So she told me that, hey, I'm running a little behind, and she texted me at like 11:30. It's just like, I'm not going to be there. So it's just you and me, baby.
Oh,
No,
she'll
we
be
don't
missed.
have any guardrails. We could talk about whatever we want to talk about.
Oh, my goodness.
We got a
Wow.
lot. We got a lot to get to before Josh Halpern comes in. The reason I was doing that is I brought a clean coffee cup from home, and now we have 2 new coffee cups.
Yes, we do.
Because he always wants coffee, and I don't have,
I wish I'd
we
known. I
just
would have
moved.
bought one for Josh.
Yeah, he always wants coffee, and one time his dad, Fred, came in, and I didn't have a
love
club,
Fred.
and I felt bad. But here we go. This is 2 Jed from Tom Ruiz. And I think you've got one also,
yes,
right?
I did. And there's one there for Tom Dabberton and Adriana in the box.
Is there really?
Yes.
Who are they? We're the stars. How does Adriana get one?
Well, she
and when
deserves
Dabberton
one. She's
goes once a
hardworking.
week. Anyways, it's a cup from St. Mary's Catholic Community School, and it's a beautiful coffee cup filled with chocolates in there and a pen, which I actually need right now, so it's going to go right here. And is it a red pen?
Well, I saw the pen. The color is red, but let's see if
Yeah.
it writes red.
I was looking for a red pen.
Were
Oh,
you?
no, it's a blue
It's
pen.
blue.
Yeah, it's blue pen.
It's just red color.
It's red color. But so Tom Ruiz has given us a gift box, and you want to tell people what the prize of the gift box is?
Yes, it's his Region hot sauce. You have a bottle there by you. And, of course, you can try it out. He has a QR code, Region Hot Sauce at gmail.com. Go online and order some. It's fresh and flavorful, and it's in support of Northwest Indiana.
It is
T's
called.
Original Region Hot Sauce.
What does Gindo's mean? Gindo's collaboration. So it's called Region Hot Sauce. All right, it's called Region Hot Sauce, but it's put together by Gindo's. He does it in collaboration with Gindo's. Not really sure where Gindo's is.
So these were our Christmas presents, actually. It says Merry Christmas. So I don't know where the box was hiding all this time. But thank you, Tom. And also, Jim, once we get the new studio finished out there, Principal Ruiz is going to bring in his students.
All right, yeah, not till then.
Not till then, I
yeah,
told.
Yeah,
right.
that's a good idea. As a
right.
matter of fact, we're cutting down some broadcasting and streaming over the next 2 weeks as we finish the construction there. But Tom Ruiz is the principal, or has been, at St. Mary's Catholic Community School. I have a feeling he's still there. And we tried this. I tried it on my eggs, and it was unbelievable because I'm not I want a hot sauce, but Tabasco is kind of like watery stuff. And then Cholula is kind of like a creamy orange thing. And, I like them both.
Right.
And Alexis is like, well, how do you describe the, Region hot sauce? It's kind of in between Cholula and Tabasco.
Oh, okay. Because, see, I'm not a person who likes real hot, spicy things, so I
What's wrong
didn't
with
try
you?
it, but I have it at the house. I serve it when I have, because a lot of people like red hot, and so I keep that, the Louisiana red hot. I keep red dot, rather. I keep the Region hot sauce from Principal Ruiz. I keep Cholula.
So you already had some of this.
He brought it some last time.
What do you mean last time?
He gave you a bottle before, Jim. That's how you tried it with your eggs.
No. Oh, really?
Yes.
I thought that was a new bottle.
So that's a new bottle right there. But
All
yes,
right,
you had a
okay.
bottle in the past.
Well, I feel like, right? You know what? I'm not going to put some on my bagel.
No
that
way.
Doesn't work, all right?
Hey, when I went to Dunkin' to get your coffee this morning, I asked if they had anything gluten-free, and they didn't. So are you still gluten-free?
I am, man.
Okay.
And, I don't know if you've ever noticed any difference in my demeanor, but I used to really kind of be in pain for like 25 years, and my body it wasn't all the time, but it would be like, oh my gosh, here it comes again, and then it would last like 3 days, 4 days, and all my joints would feel like just bloated, and then my wife would touch my stomach. So what happens is your whole body bloats, and then your top of your stomach kind of kicks out, and that was where the pain was. And as soon as I went gluten-free, I hate to be that guy. Like, I went on a golf trip with 20 dudes, 16 of them from Lake of the Four Seasons, which I don't know what they put in the water out there, but those boys have no discipline. And anyways, I was kind of the outsider. And then we would all go somewhere, and then I'd be like to the wait server, I'd be like, hey, do you have anything gluten-free here? Where's it go? And finally it got out that I was gluten-free, and these guys were like making so much fun of it.
You,
I'm
right?
like, listen, I feel good. And now I can even go, and they have a couple of really good gluten-free beers. I went over to Doc's.
I was going to say, what do you do about beer? Okay.
I was a Bud Light, and Bud Light is very low, so I can have like 1 or 2 Bud Lights, and then I got to switch over to a gluten-free beer or like a seltzer water or something. But there's a couple of places that kind of stock it because they know I'm coming, and one is 313 Tap Room, which is my brother-in-law.
That's family, of course.
Yeah, that's family. And then Doc's Smokehouse has they have
It's gonna take care of you.
yeah, so I like Lex is like, where are we going? I go, well, you only got 2 choices, man, because I want to drink a beer. But yes, it's changed my life, and it's kind of weird because there are more people secretly that are either gluten sensitive or celiac. And then, once you order something, a lot of times the server will go, my daughter's gluten-free too. And I'm like, so you go on trips, and some places will have nothing, like Dunkin' Donuts, or some places are really gluten-friendly.
Right. Yes.
Hey, we got a bunch of things to get to.
Okay.
Does the name, I want to get to this with you, and I wrote her name down this morning. Does the name Ariana Rosario mean anything to you?
Young lady, Rosado, from East Chicago.
Rosada. Sorry, I didn't have my glasses. Ariana Rosada, yes.
Yes, from East Chicago, who was actually one of the performers in the Super Bowl halftime show on Sunday.
And the mayor
So she was a
posted
little
some
girl.
of her. I'm like, I think I've I've met her or had her in here or something.
Yeah, I think Frank Rosato is her uncle. But, yeah, she was right there front and center with the dancers. And
Unbelievable
yes.
dancing. I'm like, that's Ariana Rosada from East Chicago Central, or was she from Bishop
No,
Moore?
in fact, if I'm correct now, I could be wrong, but if I'm correct, I thought she went to school I thought she went to high school in Muncie to the boarding school that they have there at Ball
Okay,
State.
so maybe she did.
I thought, but I could be wrong. So
But she's originally from EC and grew up in EC, and she
Right.
was, when they kept showing the dancers, they kept showing like 3 or 4 of them over and over, and she was one of
best
the ones.
of the best.
Yeah, they kept showing the best of the best, and one was the woman from EC,
Yeah.
which was kind of cool.
The show was phenomenal. It was really well done, high energy. I just thought it was so good.
The controversy surrounding it kind of takes away some of what, the discussion on the quality of it. But President Trump said it was terrible. It wasn't representative of what makes America. And I just wonder how you feel about that.
Well, I'll put it this way. It was more American than what's been coming out of the White House lately. And I would say more Americans understood, whether you spoke Spanish or not, you understood the music and the beat and the rhythms and what was being done and what was being said. Far more Americans could understand that than Melania Trump speaking English. So, to put a knock on Spanish, practically half of America could speak Spanish because if they didn't learn how to speak natively, they actually have probably taken Spanish in school. So whether you understood everything that was being said, you could relate to the energy, you could relate to the message that was being presented, you could relate to the love that was shown, the inclusivity that was shown. Turning Point, with their little alternative halftime show, basically half the performers bowed out, and it was basically a tribute to Charlie Kirk.
President Trump denounced Bad Bunny over a Super Bowl halftime show on Sunday, complaining that, quote, nobody understands a word this guy is saying.
But they understand Melania.
After the largely Spanish language performance. Benito Antonio Martinez Ocasio, the Puerto Rican superstar known as Bad Bunny, has been an outspoken critic of the Trump administration. Just days ago at the Grammy Awards, he declared "Ice Out" while accepting an award. Bad Bunny delivered a star-studded show which included a real wedding. Did you know that?
Yes.
I did not
Real
know that
wedding,
until afterwards.
yes.
And appearances by Lady Gaga and Ricky Martin. Near the end of the 13-minute performance, Bad Bunny delivered a message in English, "God bless America." And then he went on to name countries
how
across
is that
North.
un-American? How, despite all the criticism of things that are going on in this country, then you say, "God bless America"? I mean, how is that un-American?
The New York Times described the show as, quote, a kaleidoscopic blast of merriment, a showcase of some of the most ecstatic and celebratory aspects of Latin culture. The president suggested that Bad Bunny's lyrics were unintelligible to most. While that is the case, Spanish is by far the most common language spoken in U.S. homes besides English.
Ah, wow. And I didn't even have to read that to know it.
And it's with 40 million speakers. Weeks before the game, Mr. Trump called Bad Bunny a, quote, terrible choice for the halftime show. All it does is sow hatred. Is there...
It's just amazing what comes out of his mouth. I think what sows hatred more is Donald Trump posting something with the Obamas being portrayed as, primates. To me, that is un-American. That is more hatred than anything that Bad Bunny did.
What do you think the message was there on that?
From Bad Bunny?
No,
or
from the
Trump?
primates about the Obamas.
Well, it's always been that blacks were put with primates. You know, that was always a racist thing. They'd sell things like a monkey sitting on a watermelon. No knock on you, Ron Matlock, and your watermelons, but or you know, a little character that they used to call Sambo on a watermelon. But it's always that racist correlation between primates and blacks. So interesting enough, and I think it's a comedian who did this, they did the correlation between actually an ape and Donald Trump, because Donald Trump looks more like an orangutan than anybody. You know, same skin color, similar hairdos, the whole works. Similar lips and what have you. But, you know, I'm not going to go there. I'm just going to say, for you to depict the Obamas as apes and blame it on a staffer and not even apologize. Senator Tim Scott had to call you out. And this is the black man that doesn't believe racism exists. So Scott runs saying that there is no racism in this country, but he has to call out the president because this was the most racist thing he's ever seen.
Burley, 10 years ago, it seemed like something was, and we were on the air 10 years ago together, it seemed as if people wanted to say things. And I'm like, come on, man, just say it. I'm not really getting where you're going. And it wasn't overt racist talk. And it wasn't overt racist hints. I honestly didn't quite understand what the underpinning of anger was. I don't really think it was strictly racism that was upsetting America. But it started, I think, in 2015 when I first started to notice it. And I started to tell people, like, what's going on? And, you know, I mean, it just this like rising dissatisfaction with America and American
life.
life.
Came out with President Barack Obama. And remember the Tea Party and lots of individuals going around with little monkeys on their shoulder, little stuffed monkeys on their shoulder. You know, it was just the racism exhibited itself during his administration to a strong degree. And part of it came from Donald Trump with the whole birther movement, the Tea Party movement, all these things that started surrounding the first African-American biracial president. And now under Donald Trump's leadership, previously and currently, it's more acceptable to show racist attitudes. And look, they took away DEI. They try and say that minorities are inferior. They take away everything that is shown for black excellence to try and say, oh, you're only there not because you are the best, but because somebody, you know, fulfilled a quota or what have you. So they've tried to diminish that, and they continue to do that. And even with Bad Bunny, who is an American citizen from Puerto Rico. So Puerto Rico is a U.S. territory. ICE is in Puerto Rico, getting immigrants out of Puerto Rico. So it's just, it's really sad the state our country's in. The Olympics. Who gets booed at the Olympics? The Vice President of the United States and his wife get booed at the Olympics. What does that say when the world boos the United States? And when they're interviewing people on the streets, they're saying, I don't think the U.S. realizes how bad their image is around the world.
Well, I don't think that, you know, I it's difficult for me as like just a dumpy white guy to talk.
And I'm fine.
Sensitively.
I'm never hot, so you don't have to turn it up for me.
Oh, really? I'm turning it up. I'm cold.
Not for me. If you're cold, turn it up.
I'm
but
cold,
I'm fine.
man, and you know because Bob Starkey puts it way down.
Yeah.
I mean, I had guys, a CEO of Guard Street in here. He's like, dude, what are you guys like? skimping on the heat in here? And I'm like, no, Starkey comes in. I have it at 68. I come in and he's like, what? I'm like, why is it at 62?
We don't turn ours at home over 63.
Well, there's a lot of people that come in here. I got to warm it up a little bit. You know, it's a little difficult for a dumpy white guy to speak informatively on racism. It really is. I mean, I don't know. I don't even, I just kind of go through in a fog of my life. And my wife always points out, God, you don't even notice what just happened, and I can't put myself in your position or any black person's position or any person of color in this country. But looking at it from the outside, the shift toward kind of an agitation towards your skin color, I see it. I'm like, wow, what is going on? Why are people going to that? I thought like Senator Scott. I thought like we're moving away from that. I mean, we had a half black president. And when I was asking in 2015, please talk to me, people, tell me what is exactly going at it, I think we got away from that for a while. It wasn't racism. And maybe even 10 years, that wasn't the center of the talk. The center of the talk was elitism, like the rich and the powerful and taking advantage and that whole class of people. And then I told you, I think Trump realized that, and he went at that. Now it's kind of shifting, and I'm not really sure why the open racism of as Father Jim Martin says, the meanness of ICE, the overt racist talk and the overt racist imagery. I think it's shifting in that direction. Do you think that's accurate?
I think it's shifting maybe back to that direction, because I mean there were times when that direction was very overt, and there was no hiding it. I mean that's what brought about the civil rights movement and a lot of issues. But Jim Crow was one of the most racist periods in our history, and right now, what's happening is they're just showing it's okay. It's okay not to like somebody based on the color of their skin. It's not. I listened last week to a caller. Oh, no, I wasn't listening. What happened was Adriana posted it. So I wasn't tuning in at the time. And I listened to a caller go at her based on her views on immigration. And, it was just a back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And I'm like, what gives him the right? His parents probably won't, or grandparents probably weren't even born in this country. What gives him the right to attack and attack and attack? They probably had to cross the ocean where her family came up through the Americas to get to the country that was part of their country. So, yeah, it's so blatant. And they think they can get away with it, and I'm glad to see she doesn't back down, but it's like, okay, you called the wrong person because she was nice about it.
Well, with Adriana, she's light years away where she was 6 months ago, and I did the same thing I did with you, and I'm like, you're gonna take some heat here, man, if you want to come out with what you believe in, kind of like you do, and I said, well, what do you want my role? Do you want me to be here and do you want me to kind of shield it or what? And she's like, well, let me, kind of think about it. And finally, it's like, hey, listen, if someone's coming at you, I'm not going to rescue you unless it gets really, really awful, like this situation here. I come under criticism for allowing people to say things to you and about you. And the number one thing that would piss you off more than anything is if I came to your rescue and cut it off and was the referee on the whole thing and, calling or traveling on the other person. but she is learning to hold her own in a young way, man.
Yes, she is.
At 22 years old, to be able to have that kind of grasp, I'm like, yeah, you got to figure this out. You're speaking for a generation, not just for young Hispanic females. You're speaking for a generation. You got to really let that come through. You ever hear her on WCPT?
I have not.
I just happened to catch it one morning, and man, they let her go.
I have to tune in.
So,
Definitely.
getting back to the racism, as a white guy, I'm just noticing it, okay? And I don't know. I guess my question is, how does it make you feel?
So, here's the thing. My experiences are different than most people. Because I didn't grow up in a racist world. I grew up in New York City where many times I was the only in school because I didn't go to neighborhood schools, or I grew up in a neighborhood that was really diverse, but then went to Catholic schools. Sometimes I was like one of two in my class. So I didn't really experience a lot of racist issues and racist things. My youngest daughter and my husband will tell me that, and they'll try and put it on skin tone, and I don't like that whole skin tone thing about, oh, well, because of your skin tone, you don't experience the same things that we experience. My daughter is very dark complected, and people would say, oh, you must be adopted, not recognizing that in DNA and in culture, your people can be, you can come out with red hair, blonde hair, brown hair, green eyes, brown eyes. So people will say that, oh, well, I can say that I never really experienced like overt racism directed at me, other than maybe some of the people who want to call here. They might feel that way, about me because they don't like my views. Or because I'm the token. Well, now I think you got another black lady here. So the black girl on the radio.
We will talk about that. We will talk about that in a minute.
But so my view, my experiences are different. But that doesn't mean I can't. I feel for people who experience it and who go through it. So I know it exists, and I'm not walking around here with blinders on that I'm not seeing racism happening. So racism is real. So when you talk about, well, you can't understand because, you're a white guy, well, I may not have experienced it, but I can understand, and I can feel, and I can definitely have empathy for what's going on, and I can definitely fight against it, speak out against it, and not accept it.
I just wonder what you tell your kids and your grandkids.
See, my grandkids, every grandchild is in a different experience. So the ones in Connecticut, they're in a real diverse world. And they're soccer players, and their parents, all their friends are all different races. And so they don't really deal with racism. My daughter didn't go to a friend's house for the Super Bowl because her husband's a Trumper. So she's not going there for them to fight over a halftime show. She's going to enjoy Bad Bunny at home. So that's where their thing might come in. My children in Indianapolis, my grandkids, they're Fisher High School. They cheerleaders, all part of the whole world there. My grandsons over there, they play basketball, football. They're superstars. Everyone loves them. So they live in a very nice community. In fact, sadly, the girl who was killed from Fisher lived right in the subdivision across the street from them. So they live in a diverse world. Their friends are all diverse. But racism is still there. And I mean, my kids in Fort Wayne, they go to private school. So everyone has different experiences, but I don't know that they experience a lot of, racial hatred directly at them. But I still have the fears for them because they're young black boys, they're young black girls, and anything can happen. I told the story about my daughter in Indianapolis and how she was pulled over by the police because her husband forgot to put the sticker on her license plate. And she was actually pregnant and given a body search and put in a jail because the records that pulled up were for somebody else who had a lot of moving violations. They did a story about it on Fox News in Indianapolis. She ended up suing, got a nice settlement out of it. But that'll never take away that horrible experience that she went through. So being black does subject you to things that maybe a white person definitely would not have to deal with.
She's Verly Suggs. I'm Jim Dedelow, and you are a region rat. We'll be right back on the voice and face of the Calumet region.
Introducing Powers Health, a health system with a new name and a strong legacy of caring for families in our community. One with a tradition of advanced specialized services and a vision for the future. One with a commitment to medical excellence and compassionate care. Everything we do, everything we believe, powers health.
Life's biggest challenges don't come with a warning. When legal issues arise, whether it's a car accident, personal injury, criminal charge, or representing you before municipal boards, you need a trusted advocate on your side. At Westland & Bennett, we listen first because your story matters. We provide strategic, personalized legal solutions to protect your rights, your freedom, and your future. Peace of mind starts with a conversation. Call 219-440-7550 today for a free consultation.
Do you like to work with your hands, creating something from nothing? Then think about Laborers Local 41. You'll get 432 hours of apprenticeship training, all while earning a wage with benefits and incurring no student debt. You'll travel to different job sites, learn tons of skills, and in a lot of cases, be the first one on and the last one off a job site. It all starts at laborers41.com.
Are you sausage curious?
Who's ready for Poland?
Big Frank Sausage has the very best Polish food in the region.
You had a mouthful of Big Frank sausage?
We have a full bar, dine-in, carry-out, delivery, and catering available.
I've had a mouthful of Big Frank sausage.
I've got a mouthful of Big Frank sausage.
219-378-9556. Smacznego i na zdrowie.
Thank you for calling Call-In Studios host and call screener line. Please enter your show or meeting number and press pound.
Hey, everybody. I don't know how to do this other than right there.
Enter your 6-digit PIN number.
We are a week away from moving into some brand new studios here. And 1, 3, 9, 5, 3, 7. I think that works.
Welcome, host. You are now in the host room and can manage your callers from the call-in studio web interface.
All right. Anybody wants to call, 219-845-1100, 219-84. I'm sorry, I didn't have the phones on. I got a nasty text about putting those babies on. Uh-oh, exactly.
Now, why did the text have to be nasty?
Because people are
just nasty.
Well, they're right. I should have turned it on.
No, but why can't they just, hey, Jim, maybe you forgot to turn the phones off. Why can't they just do it nicely?
Are you kidding me? I make it very clear that I try not to hang around with anyone who's going to get their feelings hurt over things I say. That includes you, because I've said some kind of rough things to you over the years. You certainly said plenty to me, and I don't even know if I've ever gotten I don't even know if I've gotten my feelings hurt in the last 20 years, but certainly not by you. And I don't think I've hurt your feelings either.
Not at all.
I think, so, I mean, I tend not to, someone speaks, so they're going to give it back to me. You don't want to know one that came out yesterday? Dave, a caller here, and I know who he is. Alexis is all excited. You know, we've been together a long time, and something pops on her phone of 13 years ago, and then now.
I saw that.
Yeah. Dave from Crown Point puts, you know, there's me and her 13 years ago, and then there's a picture of us at Frog Bar in Chicago.
Right. You went for the holiday.
Yeah, we went just for a night or 2 nights, and he puts daddy-daughter dance.
Aww. That was joking, though. That was just a little funny little dig.
Then I looked at it.
Because, Alexis doesn't age.
I'm like, she hasn't really aged that.
Right. And your beard just got a little grayer, that's all.
And he goes, daddy-daughter dance. I'm like, my wife's laughing, and I go, why would you laugh at that loser? You know what I mean? Come on. Hey, 219-845-1100. Let's take a look at traffic. It's really been very benign this morning. 294 around the city looks pretty good. 80 going east and west looks good. The Bishop Ford coming up the gut of the Southland is really light. A little bit of trouble at the merge and past the merge all the way up to 76th Street. And then it's a little bit rough on the Dan Ryan itself from 45th on in. But you've seen worse. Skyway, Toll Road, Borman, I-65, they're all moving along pretty well. The good, benign traffic goes with the weather. I got up early, and it was clear, and it was a crescent moon. It was crazy. Beautiful out. Right now it's dipped down a little bit. It's only 37 degrees here at the Strachan Van Til Studios on the campus of the Radio Center is what they call it here, behind Smith Chevrolet. And then it goes up to 47 right here. It goes up to 50 down in Lowell and Lake of the Four Seasons, that kind of stuff. So clouds and sun. At 50, it's going to hit for like 10 minutes and then go right back down. But partly sunny and colder tomorrow and a high of only 39. But, hey, sun again. And then Thursday, mostly cloudy and a high of 39. Now, I have been waiting for a little while to get the storm sewer rotted out around the house. And the guy's coming today because it finally got warm enough. He's like, oh, you want me to come? No, man, I don't want you coming when it's below 32. I want all this stuff. So it finally got warm, and he's coming out. I do want to remind everybody that we have some Region hot sauce here, and it's from Tom Ruiz. Just go online and type in Region hot sauce. It's put together in collaboration with a place called Gindo's across the state line, and it is unbelievable. I've only had it on eggs, and I had it on some vegetables that were with Alexis made some tacos, and I put it on the vegetables. I got to put her salsa on the tacos, or would it just? Could you see if I had just put Tom Ruiz's salsa on it?
You'd be in trouble.
Yeah, she spent 2 hours making. Exactly. Right? Make all this salsa, and then hey, you know what? I like Ruiz's better. No, that's not a possibility.
Thank you, Principal Ruiz.
Verley Suggs is in the house. I do. I have a.
So we're going to take the callers, but also we did get a message from Mark. Do you realize that the voiceover and prompts with the dialing were on the air?
I did know that.
Okay,
and Adriana set it up so one of these headphones is here and I can do it there, but I don't know how to do that yet. Adriana has a paper due at 7:45, so she's not going to be here until 8. At 7:30, we have Josh Halpern coming in, so let's take a couple phone calls. 219-845-1100 is the phones. Hey, you're on the air. How are you?
Good morning.
What's going on?
I had a question for you. Is it true that St. Joseph's in downtown Hammond is closing?
I heard a rumor. I don't know.
It's true. It's
yeah,
not a rumor.
okay.
It's true. The soup kitchen will be having to move out of that location. They're going to look for another location to run the soup kitchen out of, but the church will be closing.
When is that supposed to take place? Do you know?
I don't know what their date is.
Isn't that my cousin does a mass there?
He might.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does a mass.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
Wow, that is.
What's going to happen to that beautiful building?
I know. There's a lot of beautiful buildings that have been closed. St. Stanislaus. Well, I mean, they can still do weddings and funerals out there, but Holy Trinity Croatian, Holy Trinity Hungarian, lots of Catholic churches closing, sadly. St. Patrick's will be closing eventually.
Every time I go into Dan Ryan, you see that beautiful church alongside of the expressway. What is that, Inglewood over there? And I just think about what it took to build that building at the time that it was built, with the effort and the money. It's terrible. I don't know what's happening with the Catholic Church. I really don't.
It's money, man.
It's a couple of things. Not just money. It's the lack of not enough priests to cover the churches. The priest that was at St. Stanislaus had like 3 or 4 churches he was trying to deal with. Someone calls that they're sick in the hospital. He can't even go visit because he's got so many people to deal with in the school. And so they don't have enough priests. Of course, attendance has dropped in some churches. And the bishop's struggling to find priests to fulfill all the roles.
Hey, you guys hear Sam on here a lot with his sports network. He is part of that Ukrainian church that's there at, I think it's Broadmoor in Columbia. In Hammond, they also have, in Munster. And then they also have one in Whiting. And then there's another Ukrainian church in Maryville. And they haven't had a new priest in who knows how long, and that's a real problem. I mean, when one priest has to cover all these different parishes.
Right, we're losing 4 priests. We just lost 1 last week, and we're losing 3 more at the end of June.
How would you feel, caller? Like, my cousin was the mayor of Hammond, and then he goes and studies for 6 years to become a deacon. Don't you think he would have made a nice priest?
Let him get married. I don't understand that.
I don't either.
I agree. Let them get married. That would actually
right.
And deacons should be able to perform more things. I think that deacons should be allowed to anoint the sick. They should be able to fulfill more of the roles that priests are unable. They should be able to consecrate the Eucharist. They should have more latitude to do more to help out in the Catholic Church.
They should be able to, in my mind, they should be able to do the whole Mass.
They should.
Instead of just some of the things.
Right.
And I don't want this one, caller. I don't think he can hear confession, or can he?
No, he can't.
Yeah, and he can't hear confession, which I would never go tell my cousin my sins, honestly. But I know that some people would love to go to him. And I'm like, this is a perfect example of someone who lived a good life and now has gone into the church, and he's a deacon, and there's not enough priests, and he can't do these sacraments.
So the only way you can be a married priest is if you were married, you were at another religion. Like I think there was one in Munster at one time. He was part of a different religion. He became a Catholic priest, but he was married already, so he was able to maintain, his marriage. But as a priest right now, the only priests that have been able to get married, they have been the ones that have left the church, and there have been a number of them.
You sound dejected, caller.
Oh, I was going to go there. Well, I'm still planning on going, my wife and I, on Ash Wednesday. But somebody had told me they were closed, and I go, no, I can't be here. You must be thinking about another church. You go, no, the one with the soup kitchen. I go, yeah, that's the one, downtown Hammond. It's a beautiful building. What's going to happen to that? Are they going to tear it down?
There's going to be no way that. That needs so much upkeep, roof, HVAC, plumbing, all that stuff.
And that was one of the things that was taken into account for every church that they're closing. They had I think it was Tongue and Blank came in. They did assessments on every church, and some of those things are so major they would run, the hundreds of thousands of dollars to repair.
Caller, you're obviously Catholic?
And I was raised Catholic, but I don't know. I don't really identify as being a Catholic anymore. I'll be honest with you. I'm so disappointed. When they got rid of the Latin Mass, you lost me. I'm sorry.
I'll tell you what.
Wait, hold on.
Are you addressed first, and I want to hit it?
Go ahead, Jim. Because I'm probably going to go off script.
Yeah, you're going to go off script, and I'll let you do that. But I write a Substack. I write stuff up, and I appreciate everybody who's subscribed. Type in Substack, Jim Dedelow, and you'll find it. Go read it. But I talk about a guy named Father Jim Martin, and I'm not I'm like you. I kind of maybe fallen away a little bit. And Martin he just wrote a book called Work in Progress. He talks all about like when he was a young kid, kind of similar to the Pope a little bit in the upbringing. But he talks about spirituality and trying to realize how short your life is and what the meaning is. But he's a Jesuit. Now, I'm not going to sit here and rip on Jesuits, but they have a certain way of going about it, and it is all service-based. You have to serve. You have to serve. And to me, that has really resonated with me, and I'd like to read Martin and follow what he does online, and he's very popular right now. So even if you're looking at Catholicism from the outside and you're not fully in, find Father James Martin on Facebook and all over the internet and start reading this stuff. And maybe that'll make sense. It made sense for me. Okay? All right, what were you going to say?
I'm going to address it off the air.
Oh, all right. You don't want to...
I mean, I don't want to address with the caller, but it's just interesting that the Mass being said in Latin, because, I mean, my father, you know, he was an altar boy back in the day. He spoke Latin because the Mass was all in Latin. But to say that, to complain that the Mass was... Because we used to have translation cards to know what was being said. And as the Mass transitioned to English, then those cards became what you used for Mass. But people are complaining about a halftime show that they couldn't understand in Spanish. How many people speak Latin? I don't even know if Bishop Noel still teaches Latin. I remember the little Latin textbook that the kids had to have that took Latin in school. So no one speaks the language hardly anymore. But you left the church because it wasn't in a language that you didn't understand anyway?
No, it wasn't because of the language itself. It was that the whole beauty of the whole ceremony. I gave up a lot of recesses to learn Latin. Believe me, I was the president of the altar boys for 8 years. And you know what? You got to put a lot of effort into it. You know, and, you know, I understand that people couldn't follow the Mass. Okay, well, keep the Latin Mass at like 8:30 in the morning and then have your new Mass at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, whatever. You don't have to get rid of the old Latin Mass. A lot of old people enjoyed the old Latin Mass. And that's what they knew. You know, I don't go to church to shake people's hands. I'm sorry. Okay?
I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that part of the Mass.
See, that's the part my husband goes to the bathroom.
I don't. What do I want to shake?
See, that's my favorite part when we see in my church, and it's gone because, you know, COVID, and now there's very few people in church. But I mean, our sign of peace used to last 15 minutes because we went around the whole church hugging and kissing everybody. So.
Not my way,
and
man.
He hated that.
Also, when I was at college, I went to this local church, and it was a concert, and everybody was talking, and they would play like folk music and.
See, I grew up with folk music.
And I was like, come on, man.
That was in the 70s when it was like folk music.
You need some somberness, man. Hey, thanks for your phone call. I appreciate it. Talk to you.
You would never love what St. Monica Luke was, the black gospel church, you know.
219-845-1100. Hey, you're on the air. How are you?
I'm alive, I'm kicking, and I am fine. Okay? I wanted to address something early, if you don't mind.
Can you go ahead and do that? Because I want to go warm my coffee up.
Okay, I'm glad you said go warm your coffee.
All right.
Go to the bathroom while you're at it, okay? Go to the bathroom while you're at it.
All right, I think the levels are good.
Make sure you turn the water back on.
I will be. Water's on. All right, I'm going to put my headset down. It doesn't mean I don't want to hear what you have to say. I'm just more interested in heating up my...
Wash your hands, too.
All right.
That's why I said to make sure you turn the water back on.
All right. Take it, Verley.
Okay, here we go.
Good morning, Burley.
Good morning.
Good morning, Burley. My name is Laura.
Hi, Laura.
My mom has listened to WJOB forever, and so have I. But getting back to the, your child being treated like that, I understand that, and my heart goes out to you because I have been through situations as a child that I was attacked because of the color of my skin. I would like to share those two with you.
Of course.
If you don't mind. And it's been like over 50 years ago, and when I was 8 years old, I lived in Hammond, and I don't know if you remember the A&P on Holman by Harrison Park. I lived on Doty Street. I walked there by myself, like I always did. Stood in line to pay for something, and a man was behind me. And I had my winter coat on, and my coat I started feeling a continuous poke in my jacket.
Oh, my
goodness. My coat. Okay. I turned around. I'm starting to shake right now, and I'm sorry.
So sorry,
I turned around. You see what he did? I ran to the, and I didn't know what to do. I was scared to death.
Oh, my goodness.
I let him continue because I didn't know what he was doing. I had no idea.
Right.
I was by myself. I was scared to death, and paid for what I ever paid. I paid for and walked over to the phone call and called my mom. And my mom's like, "There's no one to come help you." make sure that person's not there, and run home. And I did. And when I got home, and I didn't understand any of this, what was all over the back of my coat was white.
Oh, my gosh.
Okay.
I am so sorry. That is horrific.
It is. And like I said, it was walking distance. I mean, Harrison Park, 2 blocks away. And then as a child, we moved all over because my dad was an abusive drunk. And that's why he was never told anything, because he would have taken it out on me. Okay. And we had to move all the time, but we'd also moved down Columbia Avenue by Zayres. I don't know if you remember Zayres. I'm sure you do.
I remember Zayres, yes.
Second, we lived on the second floor apartment. And I remember walking out at 8 years old and on this back porch, and the guy underneath me says to me, he looks up. He was looking up. I was just, a child, and I hear him say, I see a big white, I'll go with the word kitty cat.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
I was scared. I was scared to death.
Oh, my goodness.
I could not tell anybody. I could not tell anyone. Do you understand that?
Right.
My dad would have taken it out on me. Okay, but I want to tell you something. Both of those people were black, and I am white.
Yes.
Okay, and and my dad was racist about everybody. Mexican, African black. And I'm going to tell you, I'm 67 years old, and I do not have one racist bone in my body. But we were not allowed to have. I had one black friend at school, if I can say that. I don't want to offend anybody, but I could not bring her home because of my dad. Okay? I had one person spend the night when I was a child. But the point being is that, it's like every Tuesday, this show is about racism. And, I am a white woman. I'm 67 years old. And I don't live that way. I treat everybody the same. I love children. I want a better world for all kids. I have no grandchildren, but everybody on the block loves me. I will protect them. I don't care what color you want, whatever. Okay, but I just want to get that out there.
Laura, you know what? This is good that you're doing that, because it's still bothering you. But this show is not always about racism.
Stay with me forever.
Yeah, I just don't want you to think that that's all we do is talk about racism.
That's how I feel on Tuesday.
Yeah, I'm sorry,
early.
but this gave you the opportunity.
Let
me say this to you, because this gave you an opportunity to get something off your chest that's been bothering you. Someone doing something wrong can happen. What'd you say? I'm sorry.
No, I'm 60. I guess I'm 60. I do an addiction drug group, which I stopped in January. So I've been doing it for 10. I'm an advocate for 20 years. My son has dealt with addiction for 20 years. He's died over 30. He's overdosed over 30 times, which overdose just means a bad reaction to the medication. But he's been pronounced dead several times. He's 19 months clean right now. And I deal with the coroner's report. I just got the data this morning from that, so I'm trying to get that information going. But you know what? No, and I don't, like on Tuesdays, I have listened to this show, and it's just a part of me, and it was a part of my mom. And there's some, like with Ariana, it's like, I just want to tell how I feel, and a lot of people. And I don't want to attack. I just like to get it out there, because this is part of me, is this show, WJOB. But when they put a young person like that, and the thing about WJOB, people call in, and you hate to call in when there's this young girl. I don't know her age. I just know she's young, and she's talking about things that are going on in the world, and people call in, and it's like people get attacked, and you don't mean to attack them, but that's what live radio is about. That's what you sit there, and you get attacked, and you attack back, which I hate to use that. I wish there was another term for that. But that's how it is. And then you have this young girl, and then everybody's talking about how somebody attacked her. She was put in that position by Jed or whoever to take that, whatever is coming at her. And it's sad. I don't think anyone's looked at it from that way.
But the thing about it, Laura, because this is talk radio, okay? This is talk radio, and this is what is part of talk radio. You have your views. You share your views. People call and share their views. There's back and forth and many times about it. But this is the place to do it. Adriana is young, but she's also a woman. So she is a young woman who is very capable of standing up and sharing her points of view, just as you felt comfortable to call in. I've heard you call the other shows, you know.
Yeah.
So this is a place where you're able to do that. You may not hear what you want to hear when you tune in on certain days, but still people tune in. So apparently you're hearing it. You may not like what you're hearing, but you also have the opportunity to call in, as you did today, to share your points of views and your stories. Definitely, those men who did that to you were wrong. Race-wise, black, white, Hispanic, they were wrong black men who did that to you. And no one should ever take a child and put them through the experience that you experienced.
Yes, and like I said, I called in there for, to share that it's not always, about it, when you talk about racism, it's black, and black American, African American, whatever. I would never want to hurt anybody. But what I'm saying about Ariana is that, like I said,
Adriana.
After she's on, Adriana, I'm sorry, I'm looking at someone else, Ariana.
That's okay.
Adriana, is that the day after, and after that, people were talking how she was attacked. And it's like, but that's what you take on when you become a guest on that show. Do you understand what I'm saying? And it's like, I felt horrible. It's like, God, did I say something? Should I apologize? And I felt that. And it's like, and everybody's defending how she was, saying how she was talked badly to and attacked and all this. And it's like, why was she put in that position? If you're going to do this type of show, be a host, you're going to take it. You have the world calling in, and there's a lot of people listening, because my mom's listened to this. It's been 70 years, okay? Mm-hmm. And I'm listening to it. But you call in to express your opinion. If someone gets attacked, it seems like they're being attacked, but then you have the other guests come on saying how she was attacked, how she was. And it's like, that's not what it's about. She should have never been put in that position.
But she made the choice. Laura, she made the choice. And, it's all about choices.
Okay.
Adriana makes a choice to get up in the morning and come in and do a show. Okay? We all make the choice.
Right.
Okay?
Right, but the day after, people were on the show on a Tuesday were saying how she was.
I just said about it. I said how I would have responded. I'm not saying that Adriana couldn't handle it. I'm saying how I would have responded to that individual who kept going back and forth about her ancestors. But that is just my opinion, just like why our other show is called What They Said, because most of these shows, the following day, the people who weren't able to get in and call in to say something about what was said previously. So that's just part of talk radio, Laura. We're all tough-skinned.
I know.
Hey, Laura.
I'm sure you can handle it.
Laura, thank you for calling.
I'm talking to Burley.
What are you, Cousin
How
Phyllis?
How dare you interrupt me?
What are you, Cousin Phyllis? What are you, like, taking lessons from her?
I'm the pajama girl. Do we go back? Laura, how long have I been calling in? 100 years? Yeah. He loved me during COVID and gave me, one-on-one time for a half hour. And he has not much to do with me anymore. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just going to say I'm very proud of your son. I pray that he's able to maintain his 19.
Yes,
you said 19 months now, right?
Yeah, and he's an amazing person. I thank God every day for letting me see him live a adult life. He's an amazing person. And like I said, I just got the data from the coroner's office for the total for last year. And I sat here for an hour before I called in thinking because I had tears.
I keep a Narcan with me just in case somebody, so
The first death of last year was the person's age was 0. So what does that tell you?
A newborn. Wasn't even born, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
That is epidemic right now of kids being born as drug addicts. And that's
that was during the crack era. It was really cocaine babies,
a lot of heroin.
This is from last year. Yeah. This is from last year, and I'm thinking, and it's like I don't argue with anybody about what I walked it, I've talked it, but that border's never going to be open.
Well, let me share this with you, Laura, because I tell everybody. When I talk about something, I don't talk about it because I read about it. I talk about it because I experienced it. And believe me, I've dealt with addiction in family, former spouse. So believe me, I understand where you're coming from, okay?
Hey, Laura,
thank you for your call.
That would have been 30.
I got a I got to cut you off, man. I got sponsors I got to play.
I'm your best call. I
Thanks,
got 2
No.
hours till.
Mad Mac is our best caller.
It almost made me
that's not what
choke
they
on my
said yesterday.
coffee.
That's not what I was told. I won the award for the internet caller yesterday.
Well, we're giving you the award today, okay? Now, you haven't had any other competition this morning, so you got the award, but you're only the first caller.
All right. Hey, Laura, I got to go. I thank you.
That's okay, Chad. That's okay. You've hurt my feelings before. That's okay, Chad.
I can't
You
even.
pushed me to the curb just like a lot of other men. You know what I'm saying?
Throw the woman card out there. That's right. Why don't you?
She's an amazing caller.
Oh,
Thank you. I don't know how to follow that up.
Oh, God.
Other than to say that the reason that she asked, well, how is Adriana put in that position? That's my decision. All of these decisions are my decisions. Colby taught me that. Mm-hmm. He's like, everybody who calls in or listens or reads about it, you or the station or any of the mystique around it, any of the people that worked here that go on to other jobs, they all go through you, and that's it. I take all of the responsibility. You want to look where that's it? Adriana's sitting here because I said she could sit here. That's it. And I don't pull that card because, then it just doesn't work but you have to take responsibility for that. Now, I wouldn't have put her in at 22 years old, but two things. She's been here for 2 years or 3 years. She's basically studied with me and sat through thousands of shows. And, we need a younger voice here.
Most definitely.
And she's just basically ready. But there's another part to this. And I don't talk about this very much, but when I was 22 years old, which is her age exactly right now, John Baranowski couldn't make the afternoon show, and Colby came down and put me on. And it was awful. He was going to pull me off. I was so bad. And then I said, no, I got this. And then I made my dad call in, and then the callers started coming. And then I was able to do a pretty good job, I thought, on the afternoon show. So much so that Baranowski came back a little early, the late John Baranowski. He's like, man, I don't want to lose my job to a 22-year-old, but I loved it. But Colby got so many complaints about having a young dude on there who didn't know what was going on, and who cares about, the young generation and what they have to say. And I'm looking at this, and I read some of the comments. Who cares what a 22-year-old has to say? And I'm like, man, does history repeat itself or what?
Hey, it does. I've given a lot of experience to a lot of young people over the years of putting them in front of a mic and letting them share their views and dealing with these same callers that call all the time that want to challenge you.
Well, I mean,
and if you're up for the challenge, then hey, you'll survive.
You go back, especially with, the Bad Bunny thing on that halftime show. I could not believe that it was that ethnic, that Spanish language, and that the NFL went for it.
I was
and
so
then
happy that
Roger Goodell came out afterwards and hugged.
Hey, he took a stand. He's like, listen, you're not gonna put down what we decide to do. You can do your little turning point, whatever you want to do. I'm standing by my decision to have Bad Bunny, and he has free reign to do his show.
Well, honestly, I hate to think of it in these terms, but as you guys will hear, my most popular podcast here is marketing, and you always got to think in terms of what's the marketing and what's the business strategy. It was the most watched halftime show in the history of halftime shows. It brought in a whole new market for the NFL, which is trying to go global, and it was a great business move. Now, what does it do for some of the staunch NFL fans who are
cares? Who cares? They have complained about halftime shows from before Janet Jackson's costume malfunction to the hip hop show to they've had country western. They've had it all. Okay, if you don't want to watch the halftime show, don't watch it.
Let's leave it right there. Take a short break. We will do one more quick segment before Josh comes in.
We'll take your calls when we come back.
Yeah, we will take your calls. I promise right away. And, hey, what are you getting for Valentine's Day, huh?
At Albert Diamond Jewelers, love is the heart of everything we do. That's why we're known as the Love Store. This Valentine's Day, we're celebrating the moments that matter most and the ones you'll remember forever. Explore our newly remodeled showroom with stunning pieces from David Yurman, Roberto Coin, Lagos, Mikimoto, and Shy Creations, along with exceptional watch brands and the most beautiful diamond rings. With every purchase over $99, receive a dozen roses, a box of chocolate, and a special dinner voucher. We'll see you at Albert's this Valentine's Day.
IBEW Local 697 electrical contractors bring the highest standard of electrical work to Lake County homes, schools, and businesses. From everyday fixes to once-in-a-lifetime builds, we don't just get the job done, we get it done right and up to the highest safety standards. When you need electrical work, hire the professionals who power Indiana. Powering Indiana, Lake County, bringing excellence to the job, creating a brighter future for our community.
Ogren Insurance, Hammond's oldest family-owned independent insurance agency, now in its third generation providing clients in the Chicago area with products from quality insurance companies to handle your every need. Regardless of driving history, Ogren Insurance can find the right coverage for you at competitive prices. To learn more about the insurance solutions and services we offer throughout Indiana, Illinois, and Michigan, call 219-933-0076 or visit our website, ogreninsurance.com. We're located at 6929 Homan Avenue in Hammond, Indiana. Do business locally with someone you know and trust.
For a fast and friendly car wash, go to Easy Clean Car Wash. Open 7 days a week in 4 convenient locations: Highland, Griffith, Cherville, and Lansing. Free vacuuming, air freshener, and a towel with every wash. It's fast, safe, and gentle. For more information and hours of all our locations, visit myeasyclean.com. Also, see how you can wash your car daily with our $10 Ultimate Wash for only $19.99 per month. Give your car the best clean at Easy Clean Car Wash.
294 around the city looks pretty good. 80 going east and west. That's not altogether that bad either. And then the problem is on the Bishop Ford into the Dan Ryan. It is still starting to cloud up just a little bit. I had to run. So if I sounded kind of winded, I am. I'm kind of winded. Whew, sorry about that. But in terms of the traffic, it's actually fairly benign, just like the weather. Your problem is mostly just on the Bishop Ford into the Dan Ryan, and then the Dan Ryan itself is kind of bad. But Skyway, Toll Road, Borman, all that stuff looks pretty good. Tuesday, February 10th of 2026, a high of 47 degrees. All that, I think we had 21 days where we never got above the freezing mark. And now all of a sudden we're going to go way up, and all that snow's going to melt. And I hope that you have rotted out the drain tile around your house, put it that way, because that's what I'm doing today. A high of 47, times of clouds and sun. Right now, let's call it 38 degrees here at the Strachan Van Til Studios. It is 36 degrees at Ironworkers Local 395. It's 38 degrees at Riffers Local 26 in Maryville. And it goes up to a high of 47 today, 39 tomorrow. Partly sunny, just a little bit colder. Same thing on Thursday, but then it pops up again on Friday, times of clouds and sun, and a high of 47 degrees. And we have some other announcements, but I have a feeling you want to go straight to the phone calls. Let's do that.
Let's do that, please.
219-845-1100, and you can call in, and you are on the air, my friend. What's up?
Who, me?
Yeah, it could be you. What's up?
Okay, cool. That's a different sort of beat that I'm used to. But, hey, guys, it's good to hear from you. Good to be on the air. And I just wanted to say, man, that Bad Bunny halftime show, I loved it. I loved it, man. It was so awesome. I am Hispanic. I understood every single word, you know, and I'm just amused at all the outrage that it's causing, you know, the right to be freaking out on, you know, and I just want to say that Bad Bunny, when he ran out with all the flags, did you notice which flag was first?
U.S.
Yes, the American flag.
Yep.
The American flag was first, and he absolutely nailed it, man. he named all the Latin American countries. All
Yes,
of them.
he did.
Even Haiti.
Yes, he did.
Man, that was awesome. That was full of what they call it, Easter eggs and stuff.
Yeah,
you know?
I was very proud, and I was in Costa Rica yesterday. So yeah.
How do you feel about the back? How do you feel about the backlash against Bad Bunny? President Trump said it was terrible.
No, he said he loved the show.
Who? I know he did. He loved the show, but how do you feel about the people that didn't love the show?
Hilarious. I believe it's hilarious. It's these things that bother them the most. You know, the cultural things that they get upset about. You know, and it's so silly that they don't think about the things of substance, things that people are really suffering about, and they'd rather go off on these cultural issues. You know, and it's ridiculous. You know.
What do you mean culture? What do you mean cultural issues?
Yeah, about the Spanish and the music and, Bad Bunny supposedly not being a citizen. Some of them, mistakenly believe that, So, and oftentimes it's in these cultural areas is where they freak out the most, and not American enough and not patriotic. And it's so cringe to me.
As I said this morning, more people in America understood what was being sang on Sunday than people understand Melania speaking English.
All right, man. Thanks for the phone call. We got others. We got to move them through. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
Sure. Okay.
Talk to you.
Hey, we want to remind people that it's this Thursday, 6:45.
Yeah, if you're listening later on this, as we podcast it, this doesn't apply. But go ahead, would you?
Yes, 6:45 this Thursday. Dave Kuziak will be interviewing Puerto Rican Frankie. Many people know Puerto Rican Frankie. He is beloved in the city of East Chicago and, of course, in Puerto Rico and all over the country. A lot of people have been a champion for him, and he will be on with Dave. So tune in.
It's kind of a timely thing. You had Bad Bunny on, and then you got Puerto Rican Frankie, and we'll see how that goes. Hey, we'll take two more calls, all right? I know there's plenty, but we've got some guests here we're going to bring in. But, hey, you're on the air. How are you?
Good morning, Verly. I want to say kudos to Lavetta Sparks. Kudos to Lavetta Sparks Wade. I listened to her video, and she's going to run for Congress lady. And what I was saying back in 2022 that I got thrown off the airwaves about the congressman, Jed, is that reverse racism that you don't throw her off, but you threw me off? But that don't matter, okay? I'm glad she's bringing out about the real truth about Congressman Mervan. And as far as Bad Bunny...
What is the real truth? I'm just curious. What is the real truth that she's bringing out?
Listen to the video, Verly. It was I can't explain an hour of her talking about Mervin.
I don't need an hour of her talking.
I'm surprised.
I'm just asking you one question.
I'm surprised. Oh, he took the most from NIPSCO, $10,000, man. That's why he ain't showing up to none of these protests.
I heard him. I heard him speak from the White House about the rates and how the people are suffering.
Here we go. What does jet fuel have to do with my gas going into my furnace? I don't use jet fuel in my furnace, really.
So Congressman Mervan is the reason why.
That was a hoax.
Is the why NIPSCO's your rate is high. Okay.
He ran.
Wait a second. All right, slow down. So, first of all, we didn't get to this, but the state legislature has what they call the utility costs bill right now. And they're going to put basically some guardrails on NIPSCO. And we'll talk about that we'll talk about it Thursday. But, so your high NIPSCO bill is Frank Mervan's fault.
Listen to the Randy Niemeyer video.
No, is it? I mean,
no, I'm not. We're not worrying about people running for office. We're asking you a question.
The new green scam that Mervin and Biden voted for in 2020 and 2021 when they had the House and Senate. And Biden, he had dementia and 4-stage cancer. Now, come on now.
Okay, well, I mean, that's a solid opinion. I mean, if that's, I mean,
it's a solid opinion. And Jed, listen, I'm going to try to use jet. I'm going to tell Mervyn I'm going to try to use jet fuel in my gas furnace today and see how that works.
Well, here's the thing. All right, hold on a second. We haven't even really started this thing. Slow down. And I was listening yesterday, and I'm like, gosh, at what point do I have to charge for a political show?
Now?
No, but I mean, I'm like, the entire show, obviously, Chuck Pullen, he says he's libertarian, but doesn't really sound like it. And, certainly a lot of people calling in and just, I don't mind having an opinion about somebody's bad and that they're a bad leader. But at some point, it has to, especially a local race. National, I think, you can let it run for a little while. I remember for years there were people just ripping on Obama day after day, and people asked me, I said, well, how do you allow that? And I'm like, well, it's national. We can do that. But local races are a little bit different. You know what I mean? And you have to understand that, you could say you've said your piece. You don't like Mervan, and the utility costs are his fault.
I don't say I didn't like him.
Okay,
I didn't say I didn't like him.
All right, hold on. You like him, but the utility.
No, you don't like him. You actually have said that.
I don't like my gas bill being doubled over his policies. Now you got to listen to my speech.
His policies. Not the IURC.
If Frank Mervyn had a flat tire, I would help him.
All right,
but you won't shake his hand.
His policies, Jed.
Okay, I appreciate.
I don't like my gas bill being doubled.
So what you're saying, it's his fault.
It is his fault.
That's all you had to say.
Him.
So does that mean that gas bills across the country are double?
Words in my mouth, Jed. Those words are vicious. You're putting words in my mouth.
Well, if you think the other candidate is going to help you, okay, you must be delusional. But thank you anyway for your call.
I want everybody to know on these very airwaves that if Frank Mervyn had a flat tire, or I would help stop and fix it. I don't hate.
I hope he has AAA.
All right,
and I hope that
Thank
Brett
you.
is actually
Thank you.
the one driving
All right,
and fixes
final
his
phone call. Then we have
himself.
some guests. Hey, you're on the air. How are you?
Hey, how you doing? Good morning, Jeff. How you doing, Birdie?
Good morning.
Adriana?
She's not here. She's finishing her paper furiously because the email has got to be. It has to be emailed by 7:45.
Oh
but anyways, go ahead.
9 minutes.
Yeah, I just wanted to let people know. A lot of people complaining they couldn't understand the music that was played by Bad Bunny. It was a statement made throughout this on the program of how the U.S. politicians are trying to play Puerto Rico. There's actually a storyline behind that whole concert. The utility poles that went off during the fireworks little scheme thing. That was about them, not having energy in Puerto Rico for so long. It was. I mean, you had the older lady that was sitting there that took the little shot with him. Maybe it was water for her, but whatever. She's a very well-known Puerto Rican lady in New York that stands for her right, and she's the only one left that was not pushed out by the big people over there in New York. So I mean, good kudos to her. She's still holding ground till this day. And there was a lot of people there that people don't know what the storyline was about. There's a whole story behind everything. People getting kicked out of their neighborhoods, and that's why in Ricky Martin's song, he said we're not going to be Hawaii because Puerto Rico's standing their ground. They're not going to turn into Hawaii and give in to your political people over here in the U.S. And you got that crack rock over there and that Turning Point concert over there. I mean, hats off to Roger Goodell. NFL it's entertainment. People need to realize it's entertainment. You don't want to watch something, turn the channel off. Do something else. You're not getting paid. Nobody's asking you to watch it. It's business. That's smart business on his part. I'm not a fan of Goodell, but hey, kudos to him. Hey, he got the job done, man. I mean, Bad Bunny, I'm not a fan of his. I do listen to some of his music. I'm not a big follower, but when this turned into a racial thing, you goddamn right I stood behind him. I'm a Latino. You got to stand behind your people, especially for what's right. You're not going to be pushing people out. And
so, how did you feel about what Trump said?
I'll read it if you want. He said the show was.
He's a delusional guy. To me, he's very delusional. He's out in the left field. I've never followed the guy since I was a teenager. I always seen right through him. he was a scam artist since I was a teenager, and I'm close to 60 now, so I was right.
You
Here
were right.
we are.
Exactly.
Your gut feeling goes with you, and that's it. I mean, if you can't see what this guy's about and then what he's doing in his country, that's it. If you see that your plant is falling apart and your limbs are falling off your tree, are you gonna keep just gonna let it die? No, you're gonna try to make it live. I mean, it's the same thing with this country. That's what he's doing. He's cutting every limb off of it before eventually this country's just gonna die because they're letting him do what he's doing.
Let's leave it right there, man. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it. 219. Well, no more phone calls. We are going to drop.
I'm going to step out for the interview.
No, why don't you come in? Why don't you stay?
Oh, I thought you had two people.
Yeah, we do. I'm going to bring another chair in. So be right back. Hey, Local 7-1 on the voice and face of the region.
From the gas in your car to the heat in your home and the roads that you drive on, our work powers daily life. We are USW Local 71, the proud men and women of the Whiting Refinery. We're not just refinery workers. We're your friends and neighbors, raising our families here, shopping in the same stores, and cheering in the same stands. USW Local 71, powering the region because we are the region.
When life takes you places and you can't get to the store, shop online with Strack and Van Til To Go. Our to-go service is easy to use, and it can save you time and money. Once your order is in, our own Strack and Van Til team preps your order with care. For delivery or pickup, enjoy the convenience of letting our to-go team shop for you. Enjoy your special moments. Sign up online today at shop.strackandvantil.com.
For over 140 years, the Central Midwest Carpenters have built our communities in Northwest Indiana. Are you ready to join the effort? We have long-term work, competitive pay, and the best benefits in the industry. We pride ourselves on innovative training and commitment to worksite safety. Earn as you learn as an apprentice. A solid career built on a solid legacy. For more info, go to carpenters.com.
Are you searching for a college where you belong? Calumet College of St. Joseph wants to know you and give you the support you need to succeed. Are you worried about how you'll pay for your degree? 95% of our students receive financial aid, including scholarships and grants. Need some extra help with your classes? You'll benefit from our small class sizes, free tutoring, internship planning, faculty mentors, and so much more. Come experience our accepting, supportive college family for yourself. Schedule your campus visit and apply at ccsj.edu.
AM 1230, WJOB 104.7 FM, the voice and face of the region. Let's take a look at traffic. 294 around the city looks good. 80 going east and west looks good. Bishop Ford up the gut of the Southland. Regrettably, it was a nice commute up until about 20 minutes ago, and starts getting bad on the backside of the Steel Bridge, and then there's two spots on the Dan Ryan that are problems. So if you're coming up the one main artery, it's trouble right now. Skyway, Toll Road, Borman, I-65, they're all moved along well. What's not trouble is the weather. What a beautiful morning. Beautiful crescent moon overnight. I was up early, went over to the Y, and came out and like, whoa, this is we haven't had this in a while. We spent 21 days under freezing. That means all that snow that came down 21 days ago, it's been sitting there for 3 weeks. That's going to go away today, a lot of it. Times of clouds and sun and a high of 47 degrees today. 37 here at the Strack and Van Til Studios. It is 36 degrees at Local 7-1 in Whiting, right outside the BP refinery. And it is 37 degrees at Ironworkers Local 395 in Portage, and 38 degrees at Roofers Local 26 in Maryville. It's 47 is your high today, 39 tomorrow, partly sunny and colder. Same thing on Thursday, basically, maybe even a little cloudier on Thursday. But Friday gets to be a beautiful day of times of clouds. And so don't forget, we have girls regionals on this weekend. We had some amazing numbers watching the regionals over the sectionals last week, as they were just some amazing games. And all you got to do is go to heartlandsportsnet.com, and you'll be able to see that full schedule. I think I can, well, I can't find it. Yeah, here it is right now. I'll tell you right now what the games are going to be. On Saturday, we're going to be at Winnemac. We're going to send Sam, Michael, and Tim Fedler will be out there with Josh Beaudry and Brandon Denene, and it'll be girls basketball regionals from Winnemac. We'll also be at LaPorte. That'll be Josh Lepowski and Larry Moore Jr., the former coach out at Hammond Central. He's got really kind of come into his own as an analyst and announcer, and I got a feeling that at some point his services will kick up another level, but we'll have him on Saturday at LaPorte all day long. Ben Cowart will be producing along with Nick Hedrick, the butcher over there behind the counter there at Howard & Sons in Munster, and we were able to pull him away and take him for about 14 hours on Saturday. So mark that in your calendars. These are some really amazing games. We're going to preview those games on Thursday and tell you who's playing and all that. But right now, just know that it's going to be there. Verley Suggs, we have some guests. You want to tell me who it is while I adjust the camera? Is that okay?
Most definitely. I'm so proud to say who it is because it's Josh Halpern and his daughter Tori. And they're our guests this morning. If you are familiar with Albert's Diamond Jewelers, if you know them from way back like I do when they were actually in East Chicago and Josh was a little boy working in the store with his parents, his mom was always there, his dad, Fred, who I love, then you definitely know the Albert's Diamond Jewelers family. Welcome, Josh and Tori.
Thank you so much. This is so nostalgic to be back here in this studio. I know it's temporary for you guys, but I was just telling
Tori. No, it's actually
Tori.
not temporary because we're going to be in the outside there. We're staying in the building permanently.
This is my personal studio once we go there. Everybody else will be out there, yeah.
No, but I love this because when I was Tori's age, at 13, my dad used to drive me over here, and, we'd see Mr. Colby and Mrs. Grambo, and, he's buying ads, and he was in his studio filming his commercials 40, 50 years ago. So to come back here and bring my daughter, which I don't know if anybody out there listening, that we did a show, 7 or 8 years ago for our MS auction, and Tori came, and, she stole the show, and I'm like, this morning, I'm going to go film a radio spot. I'm like, you want to come with me? She's like, yes, I want to go. So
why'd you want to come?
It's just so much fun, and I love to be here again. Why not, honestly? And I like to be with my dad, and I'm just super excited to be here.
Yeah. You know what? It's in your blood. Your grandfather is such a performer. He used to do his hokey commercials, and everybody loved them. And so it's in your blood to want to be out there in front of a mic.
Is it in your blood?
Maybe. I think so, though.
Well, if it is, this is the 5th generation of Albert's Diamond Jeweler sitting right next to me.
Wow. Are you going to be late for school?
Yeah, but it's okay.
She can get credit for this. She should actually get it.
You
need to write an excuse note for her.
I could write it. People will see who signed it, and they'll be like, this isn't real. Hey,
has your dad gotten you in the store actually working like he did as a kid? Greeting people or any of that?
Like a little bit.
So, she's taken a little pause, but when she was younger, she used to be in the store all the time. And my wife, Ashley, has her own jewelry collection and designs. And Tori had an idea for a jewelry collection, I don't know, about 5 or 6 years ago. And we created this whole jewelry line just for her, and she had it. It was for young daughters and moms, matching jewelry. We called it Matchers, and it did very well. And then it evolved into best friends and girlfriends and wedding parties for, so all the women in a bridal party could have matching jewelry. So that's kind of the evolution of it. And then we took a little bit of pause, and maybe she'll be back doing it again here shortly.
Oh, well, that sounds so great.
Hey, speaking of pause, it is Valentine's Day coming up. It's kind of a crunch right now if you're out looking for something. What's hot right now?
Well, I don't know if I don't think it's a crunch yet. Saturday will be the crunch because that's the day.
Yeah, the last few days.
Guys are still a little bit early if they're shopping today. But things that are hot, people love to give heart jewelry like little diamond hearts. Anything with a heart on it is great for Valentine's Day. Mixed metals are great. David Yurman, which is silver and gold, is great. Lagos, Roberto Coin, 18 karat gold. Gold is hot again. I don't geez, you think about 30, 40, 50 years ago when we were growing up, whatever, everybody was wearing gold chain. It's all back again. All that stuff that people didn't wear for 20 years is all back. That's what the young people are buying. That's what's trendy today.
So with the price of gold going up so high, how are prices?
Thank you for asking. That could and will be probably some kind of an issue coming up here. Right now, it's not for us, for the good reason that we stock our inventory early. So almost all of my inventory is bought at old prices. We have 44,000 different pieces of jewelry. I have not marked any one of them back up again to match the current levels of pricing. So people out there shopping today are getting last year or 2 years ago value on their jewelry today before the accelerated prices which are happening, because gold is hitting $5,000 and more right now. Silver is up to almost $100 again. It's crazy where the prices are. On the flip side, people are selling me jewelry because they're getting more money than ever before. But fortunately, we're able to maintain our great price points. In fact, we have a great promotion for Valentine's Day. Tori, you want to tell them about the promotion? I was telling you early.
So.
You remember? For $100, right?
Oh, yeah, for $100, you could,
I gave you the restaurants.
You could go to Gino's, La Cabana.
Well, hang on. Let's stop for 1 second. So with a $100 purchase from Albert's, that's you buy the jewelry, and the feel-good gift with purchase for that is you get a dozen roses.
Oh, yeah.
You get a box of chocolates, and you get dinner at one of these restaurants.
Nisi, Gino's, La Cabana, Jalapenos, Theo's, Umi.
Prime. That's right. And then we get the chocolate.
So wait a minute. For $100 purchase, you're getting over $100 value.
Yes. Don't even try to ask me how I'm doing it. I started this promotion about 18 years ago, and at that point in time, I could build it in. Costs have risen, but I haven't changed my threshold. The reason is it's all about gaining customers for me. I'm not worried about making money on any one transaction. I'm worried about building my customers for life, building a client base that my daughter, my son can take over someday and do.
Lifetime customers.
Lifetime
I'm
customers.
A lifetime customer.
Valentine's Day,
years.
yeah. So
50 years, yeah. Lifetime customers.
Hopefully at Valentine's Day, and when you first start dating somebody, you may or may not know if they're the right person, but I got to get a gift or whatever. So, and the threshold's usually not that large on the beginning of a relationship. So $100 is a good purchase price for that first young love, and you can come to Albert's and feel really good about it and buy a $100 item, which we have thousands of items under $100.
Wow.
And you get dinner for two. You get a box of chocolates, and you're walking out with a dozen roses.
Jim, that's not your threshold. So if you go in there, you better come out with something.
You're not spending $100.
You
Jim.
better
you're
spend
not
way more than $100. So here's the other thing that you all have been known for doing, and that is the weddings on Valentine's Day. Now, do people have to pre-register, and how many do you have planned for Valentine's Day?
They do. Thank you for bringing that up. That's a great topic. So what happened was on my parents' 30th anniversary, trying to remember, it was Judge Schneider. She came in and
James Snyder, right?
Not James. No.
The other
Diane.
Oh, okay.
Diane Schneider, and her husband did some legal work for my dad at the time, and she said, "Freddie, why don't I marry you and Donna again on your 30th anniversary? It'll be kind of a little bit of publicity. Anybody in the community that wants to get married with you and share your wedding date on Valentine's Day, I'll marry them for free. It'll be great." So that was the first time. My parents are going on 58 this year is Fred and Donna's anniversary on Valentine's Day. So since then, we've been marrying couples, as many as I think 32 1 year, and probably our median is usually, 7, 8 weddings a year. Right now we have 8 weddings booked this year. We still have 2 slots. Anybody out there thinking about tying the knot, instead of going to the JP, come down to Albert's. We will marry you, and with the wedding.
One-stop shopping. Buy your rings.
Yeah.
Get married.
By the way, you don't have
go
to
to dinner.
You don't have to buy your rings.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, we'll still marry you even if you didn't buy your rings from us. And it's just something nice that we do for the community. We've got Strack and Van Tills. We'll donate cakes. I believe For one of the 8, we're going to give away a honeymoon package for one of them. I think they get dinner also. I mean, it's a great little deal, and it's much more special.
So that is on Valentine's Day.
On Valentine's Day.
And so you have 10 slots. You've got 2 left. Who do they contact?
They contact Natalie Mora at Albert's Diamond Jewelers or Christine Martinez. Either one of them can handle it.
If you can't get through to Christine, we talk to Christine, so we can get you through on that. If you want to get married.
If not, you can just call me. I'll take care of it.
So, Josh, who's the longest employee that's been there now from your East Chicago days? You still have a couple of people there.
I still have. So there's a lady, Belinda Chavez, who has done every job in the company. Right now, she is our account payables lady. She actually worked with my mom and took over for my mom. She's been paying the bills for the last 20 years. She's 47 years with us.
Wow.
Isn't that incredible?
That's incredible.
And I've got several 30-year employees, many 20-year employees. We like continuity. I mean, when you come to Albert's, I want people to see the same faces over and over again.
Well, so you've been on that corner in Cherville for how long?
24 years.
I got to believe there's all sorts of people that don't even know that you were East Chicago based at the time. I mean, there's a bunch of people will come in and never even heard of it.
This area is transient, so there's new people to the area. There's young people. But, yeah, we were in East Chicago since 1905 to 2002, and that's when we moved to Cherville.
Tori, what did you learn from your grandfather?
Oh, well, I learned a lot from him. I learned to, really speak my mind and, talk to everyone and be kind.
So he has this ability to bring people close to him and, make you automatically kind of feel like you're a friend or like you've known them all. It's kind of a special thing. I think he learned it from Bob Pastrick, just so you know. But same. I know. I'm kidding. It was
Fred is Fred.
That was for Verley, just so you know.
No, exactly.
Fred is one of a kind. They broke that mold.
Yeah, exactly.
So his, he was doing spots here, and I think in the '60s, as early as the 1960s.
He was.
But he has a bit of showmanship to him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Could you, as you go along, say you come in, you work in the Alberts family, can you develop that showmanship?
Probably. Hopefully, though. Maybe.
I think it's in your blood. I think just coming down here, a lot of times people would be like, oh, I'm nervous about coming out. What do you like about the jewelry business?
I like that when I come into work, I see everyone, and I'm so excited to be there. And, I like saying hi to all the customers and helping them out.
So do you ever get, your dad say, well, just go pick out anything. It's your birthday. Just pick out what you want.
Sometimes.
It's got to be under a certain price threshold, but go ahead.
It's not so bad. So last year, she sometimes goes to trade shows with me. So last year, just the two of us went to a trade show, and everybody was all over Tori, and they loved her. And just right after she made her bat mitzvah, so everybody's like,
congratulations,
I'm giving you a bat mitzvah gift. So she walked through the show, and she got 4 or 5 different pieces of jewelry from my friends.
Wow.
For her bat mitzvah.
What do you like most? What do you like to wear? You're not wearing that much right now.
No.
There's no rings on. I noticed was that an Apple Watch?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got an Apple Watch, but
that's
you're
not
not
good for us.
Yeah, that's. Yeah, next time on the way here, go into one of the glass containers and bring. But so, what do you like to wear? I know obviously you're going to school right now. You're not going to do a lot of it right now. But what do you like?
I like to wear earrings. I always have my earrings in, and then I also like to wear necklaces and bracelets.
Do you have earrings in right now?
Yeah, I have hoops in.
You got hoops in?
Yeah.
So what kind of necklaces?
I like necklaces that have my name on it, or T, or my birthstone, like an emerald.
And what was the other one? Bracelets? Well, you probably don't wear that as much, right? Is my guess.
Yeah, I don't wear them as much.
Just maybe you're going out for dinner or whatever.
Where I go to fancy places, I'll have on bracelets.
Cool. So do you see yourself coming into your 5th generation? In the back of your mind, are you like, I'm going to go away and get a little crazy at IU for a while, then I'm going to come back to Alberts?
Maybe.
That's funny, but she's a little bit of an introvert, differently than then obviously Fred, who's an extrovert, like all over. But you put the cameras on or the mic on, her personality just comes out.
You can see how she's smiling. Look
Yeah,
at her.
she's a little shy in public sometimes, which is okay. But like the minute the camera's rolling, like I'm like, you want to do a social media post, and boom, you put the camera on, and all of a sudden this energy comes out of her. It's great.
You know, that's not abnormal. Verlie's kind of an anomaly. She has good social skills, and you could meet her. And your grandfather, same thing. He's got social skills off the mic and on the mic. Personally, I don't have very good social skills, as Josh will, and so will Verlie corroborate. But there is a place once that microphone comes on, and just remember that. You don't have to have, I mean, people meet me out in public and they're like, God, he's kind of boring. But once the on-air light goes on, it kind of finds another part of your personality. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you want to go to IU?
Maybe. I'm also thinking about Minnesota University.
Really? You want to get colder?
Yeah.
Hey,
she has some relatives that live in Minnesota on one of the points there in Lake Minnetonka. It is beautiful. We've been to visit many times. But they have a great architecture school, and she's interested in architecture. So
fantastic.
Yeah.
So you can design the next location.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
I'm a huge fan of Minnesota. When we go up there a lot, we've been to the university there a number of times. And if there was one outside of University Wisconsin-Madison, which I think is the best university in America, just the way it's set in this isthmus and so forth, University of Minnesota is right up there. So, yeah, kudos on that one. So, any other things going on right now at Alberts you want to talk about?
Oh, thanks. You put me on the spot with that. I wasn't thinking about that question. What's going on at Alberts? Well, first of all, we had a facelift this past year. So those of you who have not been in the last, I would say, 5 to 6 months, you'll see half of the store has flipped over. It's brighter, new lighting, new fixtures, new flooring. It looks great. New furniture. The store looks amazing. We're in the process of redoing the other side now. So hopefully by the end of 2026, we'll do a full remodel on the entire store. Lots of our name brands like Cartier, David Yurman, Lagos, they're all getting new fresh boutiques. Every 5 to 10 years, all the major designers want to freshen up their style. So we're going to refresh the entire other side of the store.
What about
I know when my daughter got engaged, that's the first place she took her, future husband to shop there. And I was there during some of that transition. So one side is complete. The next side is being done. Yes. Has your dad been coming through lately? Through all this?
So Dad's in Florida right now. Okay. But he was in all of last year, fourth quarter. He was in, I would say, from the middle of November all the way through Christmas. He was there almost every day.
That is the greatest joy for people, because I know I was in there and you said, hey, Fred's in the room. I went back to see him, and he's a draw for your customers. Seeing
people
him
love to see him.
Make you spend more money.
You know what? They just want to come in and see him and hug him and show some love and reminisce about the old times. He'll sit at my desk, and he'll just sit there. And he'll just wait and hug on customers and love on them and share old times and memories. It's great. When friends come in, I always I take selfies and I send them to him all day, every day. When all of his friends are in.
Well, you definitely have to take a picture of all four of us.
Yeah, we got to get a picture.
Yeah. So a lot of people, there's young people, old people, doesn't matter. They're thinking about getting married. What are the diamond cuts that are popular right now?
So round has always been the most popular and probably will always be the most popular, but fancy shapes have taken over. Anything in a long fancy shape. So I remember beginning of my career, the best shape ever was a marquee. Mm-hmm. And for the last 25, 30 years, it was dead, like asleep. Nobody wanted one. All of a sudden, all the young women want a marquee.
Really?
It's
was my first
mind-blowing. I can't believe it.
I'm surprised at that too. I thought that was kind of
So they're getting marquees. They love long cushion cut diamonds. They love radiant cut diamonds. They love something called an old mine diamond, which is a diamond that's cut prior to 1900s. It's like an 1800 style shape. So people want that vintage style cut. Lab-grown diamonds have become prevalent because people want bigger and better for less money.
Talk about those. Why are those so popular right now?
Well, really, I think it's because of price. So, not everybody can afford a $10,000, a $25,000, a $100,000 budget for an engagement ring. That's not everybody, but we have that client that wants that. But I would say the average in America is somewhere in the $4,000 to $8,000 price range is what people feel comfortable spending on an engagement ring. Maybe even less, even $2,000 and up. Our engagement rings start at about $1,000 on up, and you can get a big, beautiful lab-grown diamond in that $2,000 to $5,000 range that looks like a $25,000 ring. So that's why it's important. The other thing is, in the old days, I say the old days, which wasn't that long ago, 10, 15 years ago, people always wanted a bigger diamond than what their budget could afford. And in those days, you were getting an inferior diamond. The diamond looked yellow or brown. Mm-hmm. The diamond had visible imperfections to the naked eye. In today's world, you don't have to sacrifice quality. You can get high quality for the budget that you want. So what's happened in the market is all of those lower quality diamonds have pretty much been pushed out of the market. Nobody's buying those diamonds, okay? People are buying exceptional, fine, natural diamonds, or they're buying lab-grown, super fine diamonds. But things are starting to switch again because, and this just came about the last few months, people are buying bigger, warmer color diamonds, which is unusual because the lab-growns got so good. Now people want to differentiate, so the people who are buying natural are actually going back to the warmer
so they
colors,
have more of a little
yellowish tones.
Right.
Correct.
Right.
Tori,
so here's one thing. Oh,
go
sorry.
ahead.
Go ahead, Jim.
No, you go ahead.
Getting off the subject just a little, we talked about the price of gold going up. Part of your business is people coming in to sell older jewelry, older things that are, the silvers and the gold.
Sure.
Tell us about that. What people are bringing in and, telling people to come in if they have items that are just sitting in a drawer.
Yeah, thank you. I don't know if everybody realizes that we do that, but we have a whole estate department. So we have multiple buyers. Our buying booths are filled up almost all day, every day. And we have 2 full showcases full of used jewelry that we recirculate and recycle for people.
I saw a gorgeous Cartier ring there. I was like,
yeah,
oh my gosh.
Yeah, we get all kinds of stuff. So whether it is vintage signed jewelry like you're referring to, or just old things that are laying around. If you have things in your jewelry box that you just don't wear anymore, let us find a way to repurpose it. We'll either write you a check, give you cash money, or give you store credit and let you update your wardrobe. But the payouts are bigger than ever. I wrote a check to a lady the other day. She had a pile of jewelry there, and when my buyer figured it out, it ended up being $47,000.
Wow.
Just from a pile of jewelry that was sitting in her jewelry box that she was not wearing anymore. Because she was accumulating jewelry over and over again. Most of her gold was probably bought between $300 and $1,000 an ounce. That means when I'm buying it at $5,000 an ounce, she got to wear that jewelry for 20, 30, 40 years, enjoy it, and walk away getting more than she paid for the jewelry when she bought it originally.
He's Josh Halpern. She is Tori Halpern. Tori, you are going to be – are you learning this side of the business? The value of the diamonds and the value and that kind of –
Well, a little bit. I hope to learn more, though, from my dad.
So when you go to the shows –
Your dad went to special school for all that, too. So I guess he'll make sure you go as well.
Yeah, she's gonna. Well, if she wants to follow my footsteps, she will become a gemologist.
There it is. Hey, guys, if you hear this, we're going to play it a number of times before Valentine's. If you hear it after, all of the stuff still applies. You can go on out to Albert's and get somebody a gift, man. You can go right up to the last day. I know that it's going to be kind of crazy on Saturday.
Tell the store hours, please.
So the store hours are 11 to 6, Monday through Saturday. And to be honest with you,
and they're dressed.
My parking lot is big enough to handle as many cars that come by. Yes. And we'll have 80, 90 people on staff. So people will get taken care of immediately. Don't worry about the rush. If you're a last-minute guy, we will take care of you. You get taken care of right away. Promise you. You walk out efficiently, quickly, and with lots of goodies.
He's
and
Josh.
The address. Give the address for those who
711 Main Street in Schererville, Indiana. right across from Target in Highland.
Did you learn anything by me doing all this the whole time?
Like a little bit.
So here's the number one thing. First of all, Adriana's got to do her paper, so she's not going to be here till 8. She would normally be doing it. But doing the audio, and your dad was always very sensitive to the audio when I worked here in the 80s. It was like, that's too low, that's too high. So I'm always adjusting it because Verly will kind of talk really loud, and then she'll come down, and so you'll have to have your hands on it all the time. But anyways, pay attention to that. Thanks a lot, Josh, for bringing in Tori.
Jed, it's been a long time since I've been here. Thanks for having us back. Tori and I had a great time. Tori wants to do this again.
Yeah, I really
Anytime you invite us, Tori's coming.
Tori, it actually gets better. If you want to do your own podcast about whatever, just talk to Adriana. She'll be walking in here, and we need some younger voices, put it that way. All right, guys, thanks a lot very much for
thanks
coming
for having
in.
us.
Hey, take a short break, and we'll be right back. Guess what spot is lined up? You heard it.
Diamond Jewelers, love is the heart of everything we do. That's why we're known as the Love Store. This Valentine's Day, we're celebrating the moments that matter most and the ones you'll remember forever. Explore our newly remodeled showroom with stunning pieces from David Yurman, Roberto Coin, Lagos, Mikimoto, and Shy Creations, along with exceptional watch brands and the most beautiful diamond rings. With every purchase over $99, receive a dozen roses, a box of chocolate, and a special dinner voucher. We'll see you at Albert's this Valentine's Day.
If you're thinking of finishing your basement, installing outdoor security cameras, or your business has plans to break ground on a new project in 2024, Powering Indiana, Lake County is your source for the region's best electricians. With IBEW, Local 697 electricians, you're choosing the highest level of safety and reliability. Visit poweringindiana.org today and ensure your project is in the hands of skilled professionals.
Before Notre Dame Federal Credit Union, we were being charged various maintenance fees and various check writing fees for all of our accounts. And with Notre Dame, we don't have that. We have that true community partnership. We get interest based on all of our parish and school accounts, and the interest rate is really second to none.
Have you ever considered becoming an iron worker? Local 395 is now accepting applications for their apprenticeship program. Go to ironworkers395.com. Look under the training section, click on apprenticeship, and scroll down to the application. You must be 18 years old, have a high school diploma or GED, and you must be physically able to perform the work of the trade. Find out more by calling the apprenticeship school in Lake Station at 219-962-7675 or visit ironworkers395.com.
Hey, everybody, AM 1230 WJOB. Can you, we got to go right to it. Breaking news. Go ahead.
Okay, we have a fatal crash that's occurred on I-80-94 westbound and mile marker 6. So expect significant backups. We know when it's a fatal crash, the investigation takes a long time. They have to remove the individual as well as the vehicles. So they could probably end up closing all lanes.
So
where is mile marker 6?
Well, what's 6 miles off the state line? Maybe Grant, Broadway, something?
Yeah, it would be good if we knew exactly which area so we can alert our listeners to get off the highway.
219-845-1100. Anybody has seen that crash? I know I didn't take calls while Josh and Tori were in, but I know you guys were calling and dropped off, but it is westbound on that. Is that correct?
Yes, westbound.
Thanks a lot to Paul Goddard. He texted it to me personally, and Verley's got it right here. And Paul, I will give you Verley's cell phone too next time. Just text her while I'm doing it also. But that is a fatal crash. That means there's deaths on the Borman this morning. I don't even know how to handle that. Kind of on the heels of such a good news story here. So I'm looking at the what's on the screen right now for the and I don't see that yet. It's not showing up westbound on the Borman. All right, now it is vaguely. So it looks right here that crash, according to this, is probably right around Burr and Klein.
Thank you, Mark. It's at Burr Street.
All right, yeah, between Burr and Klein, westbound, a fatal crash. I can tell you to cover if you want. I mean, we'll cover it as long as Verley and I are here. All right, I-80-94. Now they finally, you know what? They might. You don't realize that they actually have listeners to the other things, and that's kind of how they get some of that up here. But it is right at the Burr Street exit. So you're coming westbound. You know, I've never gone westbound and got off at Burr Street.
You haven't gone to the Hard Rock?
I have, but I've always come from the other way.
Oh, right. You're coming from the east. I mean, you're coming westbound. You're going eastbound when you get off.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
I come when I'm coming. That's the way I come. I get off.
So is that a circle?
So, no, it's not a circle. Basically, when you get off at Burr Street, you're going straight ahead, and then you're making a left or a right. If you're going to the right, you don't have to go up to the light. If you're going to the left to the Hard Rock, you would go up to the light and make a left turn.
Okay, so it's not a clover leaf. You know what?
Right,
Now,
but
I
it's
am
real
picturing.
busy over there because at the Burr Street exit, right past that is Klein Avenue. And so you have a lot of people who are going to the mill and what have you. Or
We are gonna change in mid-sentence. Are you ready? Yes, I am. Okay, so did you get your assignment in?
I'll talk about
All right,
We'll
all
get
right.
that on the radio.
She's like, oh, maybe not, huh? All right. Adriana is here, and that is good. I get to come over and sit, and you'll adjust everything. 219-845-1100. Fatal crash westbound at Burr Street. So can you keep an eye on that? And Adriana is finally here. I have to make an announcement here, okay? Is that all right?
Of course.
Yeah,
it's your radio station.
Well,
you're the boss.
It's to do with our other company, and that is the Heartland Sports Network. You guys are well aware that that's kind of become a big deal, and I want to read the statement that was put out by the state of Indiana, and it's taken a little while to load here, but here we go. So the Heartland Sports Network, according to the state of Indiana, all right, big news for local sports in Indiana. Heartland Sports Network, formerly Jed TV Sports Network, has joined the Sports Tech HQ Collective, Indiana's leading sports tech ecosystem. From Friday Night Lights to basketball playoffs and athlete features, our mission is simple. Elevate the stories that matter most to local communities and give student athletes the exposure they deserve. With free live streaming of high school and small college sports across smart TVs, apps, and online, we're proud to keep bringing hometown competition straight to fans everywhere. And I would like to read the full announcement. You go there on Facebook and you can read it. It was put out by the state of Indiana. I know that some of you are going to see that and you're going to be like, what's that all about? Joining the Sports Tech HQ Collective is an all-important step for Heartland Sports Network as we continue to scale our free community-first model, said Sam Michael, COO of Heartland Sports Network. This partnership connects us with innovators who understand that the future of sports media is accessible, technology-driven, and rooted in local impact. So congratulations to Sam, Peter, and Ben mostly. They've been working their butts off. We have, for the past year and a half, been working directly with the state of Indiana, kind of behind the scenes.
Are you the CEO?
I am the president.
Okay.
We're, you asked the question I don't want to address of, perhaps we will be looking for a CEO. We all got our own roles.
Well, you can be president and CEO.
I could, but, Adriana and I want to build. We made a lot of mistakes building that sports network, as a lot of people will point out. We just did a lot of wrong moves. The state brought us in, and kind of pointed it out. You guys, hey, you got a great idea, but you need to do this, you need to do that. So we built up some know-how of how to build something from nothing. And Adriana and I and Lynette and Matt Kaufman and Joe Cimino, we want to build a podcast network. And I want to go and I want to, work on that and do some of that. So Sam's running it. But as Sam goes, it's kind of hard to run it and be, he's announcing games all week and all weekends. So the state has us, the Sports Tech HQ Collective is based out of Indianapolis. It's kind of I guess a little prestigious to be in that ecosystem. Now there is an issue because we're here in the region and almost everything is out of Indianapolis. And I know a couple of people that have asked me now that Sports Tech HQ tends to be people from other areas brought down to Indy. We're committed to staying here in the Calumet region and growing in the Calumet region, and I'll just leave it at that. That's where it's going. It also involves, getting some support in marketing and some other supports financially and that kind of thing, but it was finalized yesterday.
Congratulations.
It was a big day. And my wife's like, why are you in such a good mood? I go, I don't know. I don't know if this is as soon as it's signed and all of the things are done. But they put out the press release yesterday. So I just want everybody to know the Heartland Sports Network that is not located in this building right now. They're going to be moving. And we will leave that to be announced by them. And it is a separate company, separate entity, separate everything. And when was the last time you saw Sam? When was the last time? It's been a long time,
Honestly,
right?
the last time I probably saw Sam is when I was working at my other job.
Oh, when he came into where's your other job?
At Cracker Barrel.
Cracker Barrel. That's
Cracker
right.
Barrel.
I work there every now and then, but not as much because of school and work and all that.
So did you finish your paper?
Oh, so the assignment is for script writing with Mary Beth O'Connor, and we are doing a show Bible for the show Bridgerton. And we got to, I looked at it today because we want to print it all because our class isn't until 5, but we want to have it all done, ready to go, so that way we don't have to worry about it the rest of the day. Printed it all, and it's probably about 500 pages.
Wow.
So that's why I was they're like, can we do it real quick early in the morning so that way some people can go to work, some people can go to class. I was like, all right, I'll do it. Let's go. And then also I was able to get all of the stuff done for Alta Vista Network and Guard Street. Those podcasts, if you want to listen to them, will be posted. The full video version will be posted for both of those at 9 a.m. today, as well as on our podcast network. If you want to hear the audios, anywhere you get your podcast, both of those episodes are uploaded and ready to go for 9 a.m.
Guard Street was an awful topic. The guy's a cybersecurity guy, the CEO of Guard Street. I traded with his cousin, and that's how we got the connection. But he told of a company getting cyber hacked and held for ransom and how to deal with it and how to prevent it. And I was like, God, this is awful.
Sounds like a Lifetime movie.
It was awful. I mean, how much money and what they did with everybody's data. They went in and took all the client data. I mean, come on. All of a sudden, you want people to know how much you're spending and what your bank account is and all that? Oh, it was awful.
Then you have to pay a settlement to all your people who got all that information.
Yes, and then you got to bring your insurance in. So if anybody's looking, honestly, to keep your data, whether you're a school district, whether you're a contractor, whether you're a union or whatever, I mean, the guy's a friend of mine, and he's the CEO. You could go directly to him. Just go to guardstreet.com and just put your contact info, and when you talk to him, say you're a friend of me, and hopefully they'll kick it up and let you talk to Vince.
And tell them how to spell guard, because it could be spelled a few ways.
Yeah, Guard Street
just like
is how they spell it.
So you missed Tori and Josh. Were they gone when you got here?
Yes, they were gone. I saw them pulling out as I was walking in.
I think, well, how old's Tori? Like
I think she's about 13.
Yeah, 13 or 14.
She just made her best mitzvah, so she.
Yeah, she just had her bat mitzvah.
Oh,
so
nice.
she was like all interested
In
in
everything
everything, and I go, well, don't talk to me. Talk to Adriana if you want to come in this way. Adriana, we have been talking about Bad Bunny.
I've heard. Yeah, I was
and
listening. this
you were a topic today. I don't necessarily like to do that, but
But I brought you up, and then one of the callers did. So.
Hello, caller.
So, first of all, let's leave you being a topic and people often disliking your opinions and the fact that you're 22 years old and you have the mic at WJOB.
That's perfectly fine.
Okay.
They can dislike me all they want. They can. That's the beauty of YouTube that I like to tell them. You guys can go to a different show that aligns with your views and ideals, and you can have your fun there.
And I actually saw your post on Facebook, so that's how I was aware you played, the call and the situation, and so I was talking about it based on that because I really didn't hear it on the radio.
What did you think of Bad Bunny?
I thought his performance was great. I liked the simplicity of it. I was looking at more so just the content. I know everybody's talking about the political and everything that is going around centralizing around him and his views on ICE. And a few months ago when he said that he wouldn't do a tour in the U.S. because of ICE and all the safety of his supporters. So I was looking at the quality more so before the politics of it, and I like the simplicity of it. I know that the Super Bowl halftime shows are supposed to be very loud, very extra, and yes, his setup I think was very beautiful. I liked how he showed all different aspects of life that is not only, yes, from his viewpoint, but also from the viewpoint of his fans, and that this is everyday life. I liked that aspect. I liked the different people. I was honestly a little disappointed when Daddy Yankee didn't come out to sing Gasolina. We were just like, wait a minute. We were so ready and excited. But, I really enjoyed it, and I liked the message that was behind it, because even the Super Bowl halftime show before him, Kendrick Lamar had a lot of symbolism in it, and it flew over a lot of people's heads.
It did.
And so then now the symbolism that's in here, it's very subtle, and I think a lot of people understood it maybe a little bit more, that it wasn't just like right there loud in their face. But I like the aspects. I think the only thing that I will say, I think he did not play his best songs. He played a lot of popular ones, but I think there was a lot of songs in there that should have been. And when Lady Gaga came out, we were all a little confused. But then
What do you mean?
Well, because that song's not like a kind of cumbia. It's not meant to be cumbia. So we were like, wait a minute, this song goes with the beat. And then we were listening, I'm like, the song goes with the beat. Okay. And it was for the wedding part of it, because everybody was playing that song for their weddings. So it took us a little minute to be like, oh, okay, we see the connection. And it was actually really cool. We really liked it. And that was something that we just weren't expecting, because we're seeing all of the different people coming in, different artists, and she wasn't on the set list. That was the other thing too. She wasn't there. That was like a surprise guest.
He said he was going to have a surprise guest, and he actually had two, her as well as Ricky Martin.
Yeah, we saw, and I had to, it was so funny because I was just like, why does he look so familiar? And then I had to remember, I was like,
I know, right?
I know who that is, never mind. Yeah, I know. I was like, okay. But I really enjoyed it, and then all the controversy going around it, it's honestly, it's really surprising to me, because so many people like to say, oh, that's what he did is not American, or what he did is so American. And it's one of those things that no matter who is up there on that stage, everybody's going to be upset. Politics or not, you're going to have the people that are going to be upset that it's not their all-time favorite artist. If it is not your all-time favorite artist, you dismiss everybody else there. So people are going to be upset no matter what.
We had a caller earlier asked, why is she even there? You.
Me?
Yeah. About why are you even here on the WJOB morning show? What do you have to say to that?
I am here based on how people view that I can do my job. So at first I was here to produce. I was here to learn everything behind the scenes, and then they said, hey, talk about this, talk about that. And from the way that I'm able to speak on certain topics, the way that I'm able to become knowledgeable on certain things, they said, okay, you're doing great. Let's keep going. And so it's one of those things that I'm here not on means of, not to say that like, oh yeah, the reason why I'm here is because of this person. No, I got here because I'm able to do the job that's given to me, and I'm able to do the different aspects of the job. I'm able to do the behind the scenes. I'm able to talk in front of the camera, in front of the mic. And yes, my viewpoints may not align with yours, but that's the best part about what I've been hearing about this radio station is that you're able to get all different kinds of viewpoints. If we were just one side, then it wouldn't be what I've been hearing from Jim, that it's a 102-year-old radio station. We've been doing this for this amount of time. It wouldn't be that. So I think it's more so that the next generation needs to come up, and it's going to, honestly, it's going to stir the pot. And not gonna lie, people want that. People want to be able to challenge ideas, and that's what we talk about. And it's not only just within workplaces; it's within schools, and it's where people like to say that you're indoctrinated, which I just think is the funniest thing. Where it's in schools, it's in everyday life. Ideas get challenged. If ideas never got challenged, then we would just have the same boring conversations every single day. And it's not to say one side is more boring than the other, because a lot of people like to twist words around and everything. But yeah, I'm here because my employers think that I'm able to do a job, and they think I'm able to do the job well. If they thought that if I was incapable of doing my job, they would take me out. And hey, here we are.
I got a few things we should probably hit here. One of those is you don't realize that the legislature is in session right now, and there's a number of bills that are coming down, and I actually kind of looked at some of them. One is the data centers bill, and they're going to try to, I think right now data centers don't get, I guess, basically any tax on certain activities. They put in a thing to put 1% tax on the new data centers that will go to the municipalities that are where they're at, or to the government that they're at. This could mean millions, if not tens of millions of dollars. I know
Hobart's happy about that.
Hobart's very happy about that. In that, I did talk to Josh Huddleston, and I said, hey, we're having a conversation here. Is it okay? And he said, yeah, but there could be tens of millions of dollars going into Hobart. What are you hearing about that data center?
Well,
before you go to that, westbound traffic is now closed, getting off at Burr for helicopter landing.
Is that from Goddard?
Yes.
All right.
Goddard, and then I also got a text from Mad Mac. Westbound closed. 80-90 just got closed. That was about 10 minutes ago. Sorry, I just saw that.
Who's that from?
Warned ahead of
Mad
time.
Mac.
They're going to probably have to close it down.
Mm-hmm.
Mad Mac has your phone?
That was like a year ago when they were doing like the Christmas show with Davidson.
Block him.
Watch yourself. But
block him.
So you got Mad Mac and Goddard telling you what now? It's closed?
Westbound traffic is now closed, and people have to get off at Burr for a helicopter landing.
Yeah.
So they're going to land the helicopter on the Borman?
Paul Goddard,
that would
can you
be
confirm?
the only place to land it, Jim.
I don't think I've ever seen that. Have you?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen a helicopter land?
I see them around the air, and I'm just like, what's up?
Well, when you see those in the air, those are usually news.
News.
NIPSCO has a helicopter that flies over checking the lines. A lot of the news people have helicopters that follow the traffic.
Yeah.
But,
so I just wanted to say that before we continue on to the conversation.
So
I just saw that.
Right now, if you're coming down the Borman, like say you're coming up I-65 right now.
Yeah, I'm seeing that it's we got a lot of traffic happening.
And more than likely, when they have to land a helicopter on the highway, they will close both sides.
Mm-hmm. Once the other side is still looking fine, but yeah, right, Burr Street just before, that's where that traffic is going to go, and it's congested all the way up until Kennedy Avenue. So that entire area is all.
Yeah.
Wow,
it's better to close both sides, because what's happening is, not only do you have to worry about the winds when helicopters are coming in, but also the gapers looking at a helicopter can cause another accident.
I
someone's
would.
going to run into the back of someone else. Someone's trying to film it with their phone or whatever.
Well, you don't realize how big those blades are. I mean, they got to barely fit on that road.
Yeah. So.
Wow, this is awful. Anybody that has gone past there, please call us at 219-845-1100. We would like anybody who's caught in the traffic or you have gone the other way especially, call us, tell us what you're seeing. Just to repeat, the Borman is closed westbound due to a fatality on the Borman, and all the crews are out there, and you got to get off at Burr. So if you want to continue,
I would say get off before Burr and get off at Grant Street or Broadway. Don't even try and go down the Burr Street. Just get off.
I would say you should just stay onto the toll road if you're coming up I-65.
Well, if you're coming up I-65, but if you're already coming from the east, then you're already on 8094. You want to get off and go down 25th Avenue or go up to Ridge Road and go that way, or go down Broadway or go down Hatcher Boulevard and hit 5th Avenue. Go over to Klein Avenue and back up.
All right, so we talked a little bit about the data centers. They will, and one of the controversial part of that was that especially in rural communities, they were going to make it so that you could put that data center in there despite the objections of the local people. They did not put that into the bill. That will affect us here locally. There's several huge data centers being planned, and there's considerable opposition to them. And we'll see how that plays out.
And especially in Hobart, as you were talking, there are a lot of residents in Hobart who do not want the data center, and there are signs in their yards.
Yeah. It's a big deal right now.
It's a big deal. The people who built homes in that area over there, of course, from where one of the data centers is going to go, are not happy, but they've already started putting up the silk fencing and what have you to start the project.
And another bill that came out and it passed the initial committees and it's going to go to the full floor is the transgender on the licenses. I know that it sounds kind of, it just affects not that many people, but this bill downstate got major discussion on you can if this goes through, you won't be able to change the sex that you were given on your license to the other sex or to any other
but
thing.
That's no surprise for Indiana.
It seems like it's going pretty deep on that, right?
It doesn't surprise me that Indiana would put that forth. They've never been welcoming to trans people in any way. So it's no surprise.
So do you feel as if you're transgender, people should be able to go from M to F or F to M?
So I'm kind of torn in that. I believe people's rights to be transgender and to either have sex change operations or hormone injections, whatever it takes to be the gender that they feel that they should have been born to be. I don't know if now with Real ID, I think the world has changed in that regard. And so I think that Real ID should really go along with what your birth certificate says and all the documentation that you need to prove that is you.
I'm surprised you say
ID.
that.
So in that respect, I just think that it's important. As far as passports and federal documents, I don't know if it has to affirm what you have on your birth certificate. I believe so. And unless you're able to change your birth certificate, I think you have to go with what your birth certificate says.
We are in the middle of a major traffic thing. Chuck Pullen's covering. Did he send that to you too?
No.
They are closing all lanes, and due to the medical helicopter evidently is there right now. It was a serious crash, according to Pullen, going westbound right at Burr Street, right by the exit there, and Pullen is texting me right as we speak, so let me see what comes in on that. And if you are looking for up-to-date on this, it is Paul Goddard texting us directly. Westbound traffic is now closed and being diverted at Burr for a helicopter landing for a second patient. The other patient has already passed. This is a semi versus a car wreck. That is everybody's worst nightmare.
Definitely.
On this.
Prayers for the individual for both victims and their families.
Why don't we take a couple phone calls, and maybe one of you are on the traffic here. But we would like to hear you if you have come through this area, 219-845-1100. Hey, you're on the air. How are you?
I'm doing well. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
I'm far from the expressway, but I did want to talk about the data centers a little bit because Hobart's going to get well over $100 million in payments from Amazon on this matter if it goes through. And just in the last 2 weeks, there was approval in Jasper County over at the Schaefer plant for a possible data center, which would be a lot of money. And it was the tradesmen were aware to some extent that basically even if the county commissioners down there voted no, it was still going to happen, that the state legislature and the governor were going to make it happen because you're basically on the NIPSCO property, right, where they're generating the power or getting the power in various ways. So it's going to happen. And the sad part is the people who are fighting it, half the time you go to the meetings, they're against it, and they look at their cell phones where all this data has to be held, you know. And so it's kind of a unique situation. We've changed so much from the days of we didn't carry phones, we had landlines, and the peers were pretty dependent on these cell phones and other types of technologies, but you need data storage. I don't know what the good answer is it for, because here soon they're going to be bringing probably those small modular reactors, the small nuclear reactors, and they pinpointed some of the former coal-burning locations that say they're going to decommission, and they're going to bring those in as well.
Well, that would be the
And,
most
no one's
efficient
in their backyard.
and the least expensive to have nuclear generators.
Well, right. I mean, most people don't know this. There's a very small nuclear reactor in the basement of the electrical engineering building at Purdue University in West Lafayette. I've seen it. I graduated from there. I didn't realize it was there until 10 years ago when I was in my 40s. It's for research. And you're probably right, Burley, and you probably know far more about that than all of us. But from the standpoint of how are you going to do this, but the thing that I think is a real issue, and I've testified again at IURC meeting at the old Hammond High School years ago after NIPSCO had done all these upgrades at Michigan City and the Schaefer plant, which ultimately is our money, and they said they're going to decommission. Well, there's a cost, and IURC under Governor Holcomb, who I liked a great deal, he's a great guy, they never said no. And at some point, you have a company, they need to make money, but as a public utility, you are a legal monopoly. And so at what point you got to balance things between your customer, who has no option, and then obviously the company has to make upgrades. And there's a fine line there. So I don't know if it's going to change, even though the current governor has put 3 new members on the IURC.
So what do you think is going to happen in Hobart?
Well, I think it's going to happen. I've talked to Mayor Huddleston, and if they don't do it, the South Lake Mall, I still call it that, it's not thriving as it had. And, I'm curious about that as a tax base, if it kind of phases out like Woodmar did. How do you make up the difference in money? And, I lived on 61st Avenue over in Maryville, not in the Hobart side. You got to have data centers at some point. It seems like it's a pretty viable location.
The main factor here is power. I interviewed that CEO, Vince Parisi, and I enjoyed it. They paid for the interview just like a lot of people do here, and so I kind of knew where it was going, but I didn't know that the infrastructure that they're planning to put in for the data centers, I guess paid by the data centers, more than doubles the capacity of NIPSCO. So in other words, I think he said it was 2,400 some megawatts or whatever it was, and they're looking to build 2,600 megawatts. I mean, I don't even know how that's possible. I mean, think about all the infrastructure NIPSCO has now, and all of the they've got less generation, but they still have generation. To make that kind of an investment in the infrastructure is just it's generational.
Well, over there at the NIPSCO plant, just south of Couts in Jasper County, there's those 4 smokestacks. Only one is burning coal right now, and it's one of the oldest ones that were originally put in. They had a fire that affected the others, and obviously it's still burning because the president put the mandate on it where they couldn't totally go away from that yet, because they were talking about going away from the coal-fired stuff a couple of years ago, and it continued on. But they're in the middle of putting in gas peaker units, $1 billion tied to these peaker units that are going in. It's tied to natural gas. And then just over there, they're going to put in that Genco power plant for the data centers and everything, which all the data center companies, Amazon, whomever is going to pay for that out there in Taft or whatever area you want to call it, Wheatfield. But it's happening. The unique thing is Vince Priest, he seems like a nice guy, because before a lot of folks just felt like they weren't being straightforward, they being the major guys and folks at NIPSCO, because this whole natural gas thing they're doing, they're looking to do that back in 2018, talk about this, and now we're going to go away from coal-fired or whatever, and in the meantime, they had outside contractors laying natural gas lines and everything else with this part of the plan.
All right, well, go ahead, finish up.
Well, what's going to happen to the cost of natural gas if you're going to be really generating? Because if the coal was costing them close to $500 million a year for generation, you switch to the natural gas, which most people tend to have for their heating. That's the issue. You're probably going to see an increase in cost there, too.
All right, man.
Thank you.
Thank you. I
Thank
appreciate
you for your
it.
call.
So,
I mean, and they still do use wind. I mean, NIPSCO buys a lot of wind.
it's so expensive, the wind is,
right.
as we
but
know.
they still use it.
Hey,
So-
I appreciate you coming in.
Thank you, Jim.
Yeah, like
Pleasure.
always, it was nice to see Josh and Tori, and
Most
it's
definitely.
Adriana got her thing done. It's a tough time, man, in America. It really is.
When is it not, though? Here lately.
I think it's just at a crux right now, and honestly, I think this might be the only part of the day that some people hear, conflicting opinions. People tend to go into their silo after this, and but we appreciate it, because how many years we've been doing this, Adriana?
102.
That's right. The same way, baby. You get to talk.
Are you guys ending early? It's 8:36.
I think it's up to you.
It's up to you, Jim.
I would think we've been on for 2.5 hours. It's
I
long
didn't
enough.
know as you
I'm
were
kind of
like,
tired.
As you were ending, I was like, wait a minute. I
Yeah,
just was like, we
wait
need
a
a
second.
commercial
All right,
break.
let's do it this way. I'm done.
Okay.
I gave
Adriana handle till 9. Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah. we'll
You
do
don't
it
have
till
to.
9.
All right.
Yeah.
Good enough. All right. They're going to stay, and I'm going to leave. And so we'll be right back on the go. I think you got to go to the top of ads again.
Okay.
Yeah. And on the voice and face of the region.
Maybe.
Yeah, go up to the top there, and
Are you sausage curious?
Who's ready for Polish?
Big Frank Sausage has the very best Polish food in the region.
You had a mouthful of Big Frank sausage?
We have a full bar, dine-in, carry-out, delivery, and catering available.
I've had a mouthful of Big Frank sausage. I've got a mouthful of Big Frank sausage.
219-378-9556. Smacznego i na zdrowie.
Who's ready for Polish?
Albert's Diamond Jewelers, love is the heart of everything we do. That's why we're known as the Love Store. This Valentine's Day, we're celebrating the moments that matter most and the ones you'll remember forever. Explore our newly remodeled showroom with stunning pieces from David Yurman, Roberto Coin, Lagos, Mikimoto, and Shy Creations, along with exceptional watch brands and the most beautiful diamond rings. With every purchase over $99, receive a dozen roses, a box of chocolate, and a special dinner voucher. We'll see you at Albert's this Valentine's Day.
IBEW Local 697 electrical contractors bring the highest standard of electrical work to Lake County homes, schools, and businesses. From everyday fixes to once-in-a-lifetime builds, we don't just get the job done, we get it done right and up to the highest safety standards. When you need electrical work, hire the professionals who power Indiana. Powering Indiana, Lake County, bringing excellence to the job, creating a brighter future for our community.
Ogren Insurance, Hammond's oldest family-owned independent insurance agency, now in its third generation providing clients in the Chicago area with products from quality insurance companies to handle your every need. Regardless of driving history, Ogren Insurance can find the right coverage for you at competitive prices. To learn more about the insurance solutions and services we offer throughout Indiana, Illinois, and Michigan, call 219-933-0076 or visit our website, ogreninsurance.com. We're located at 6929 Homan Avenue in Hammond, Indiana. Do business locally with someone you know and trust.
For a fast and friendly car wash, go to Easy Clean Car Wash. Open 7 days a week in 4 convenient locations: Highland, Griffith, Cherville, and Lansing. Free vacuuming, air freshener, and a towel with every wash. It's fast, safe, and gentle. For more information and hours of all our locations, visit myeasyclean.com. Also, see how you can wash your car daily with our $10 Ultimate Wash for only $19.99 per month. Give your car the best clean at Easy Clean Car Wash.
And welcome back to Jet in the Region. You have Verly and Adriana with you for the next, 20 minutes or
about
so.
20 minutes.
Yeah, so for this segment, 219-845-1100 is the number to call in. Adriana's going to give us a quick update on the traffic and the weather.
Yep. So good morning, everyone. So let's take a look at our weather for today, just in case we get any more updates on traffic while we're doing that. So currently right now at the Strack and Van Til Studios, it's so warm. Right now. It is so nice. It is 40 degrees today. We're seeing highs of 47, lows of 28. It's just a little bit of clouds and some sun, but no rain, no snow. It's amazing. So then tomorrow, we're going to cool down just a little bit. High of 39, low of 29, partly sunny and colder, increasing cloudiness. Same thing for Thursday, mostly cloudy. And then we're going to warm up, and it is just in time for Valentine's Day weekend for people. On Saturday, we're looking at highs of almost 50 degrees.
Amazing.
And I know that that's going to, people are going to now plan, oh, we can do this outside, we can do this, and a lot of people are going to want to go out more because it's nice and warm and it's not sub-zero temperatures. But, so it's going to be warming up a little bit. What we need just for that that big cold front that we just had. So let's do a quick update on traffic. I haven't gotten any updates so far. We still know that it is closed from right before Burr Street. So honestly, I think it's closed right there before Broadway too. I think they've closed it all the way up to there.
So they're trying to divert the traffic off the highway, of course, before you get to Burr Street.
And that traffic, it's from all the way just before Burr Street, all the way through and almost up to Indianapolis now that I'm looking at it right now. So due to that accident, we haven't gotten any other updates on that. So, I haven't gotten any texts from any of our callers.
So stay off the Borman. That's the best advice we can
Borman.
give you. If you have to travel east and west, stay off the Borman.
65 going north and south is looking good. We are seeing that the connector from the Dan Ryan Bishop Ford, little traffic, nothing too much. Eisenhower going east and west is looking pretty heavy in traffic all the way through. Stevenson going north is looking pretty heavy in traffic. all the way through, but going south is looking pretty good. And 94 going east and west is looking just a little bit heavy in traffic, but that's just your morning traffic happening. But you do have an accident, right lane blocked on the Kennedy I-90 94 east at Division Street, exit 49A backed up to I-90 I-94 western splits. That was updated about 6 minutes ago. So that's your update on our traffic and weather. And yeah, so you put the camera back. I gotta fix this camera angle. I was looking at it.
Well, I think it got changed because Josh and Tori were here, so he's trying to take in three
we will
people.
cut up that. I'll cut up that interview, and we'll get a little clip of that up on our socials, as well as a few clips here and there. We're trying to build up our social media, so just be patient with us. I know we were trying to get a show schedule out every week, but with the constant changes of this week, we had a lot of different changes where it was this show might come in, this show might not come in. It was a lot of scheduling on both parts, so I didn't want to put out a show schedule just in case some people may be expecting a show and it doesn't happen. So next week we will have a show schedule out for those of you who do see the schedules that are posted on our Facebook and our Instagram pages. But any kind of content behind the scenes, be looking out for those, and we're going to be posting on that a bit more regularly now.
Fantastic. So, Adriana, you're doing all these great things. I'm sure 4 years ago you couldn't imagine where you would be.
4 years ago, I was supposed to be in medical.
Okay, see? So your life has changed in just 4 years' time.
Yes.
But have you changed?
I think so, yes. I think that along with how I view the world, I've become more aware of things, and it's a blessing and a curse to be aware.
So tell us about the blessing part and tell us about the curse part.
It's a blessing because you are able to you're able to see things and there we go. Because I'm like, I don't want to turn my back to them, but then I don't want to turn my back to you. It's like you're more aware of, it's a blessing to be aware of things. It's because you're aware of the people around you. You're aware of what's happening, not only in your life, in your little bubble, but also the world around you. And you're able to understand a bit more things when it comes into culture, media, and I look at it as when you watch a movie when you're 8 years old, you may not get the message opposed to when you're 18 years old. So it's a blessing to be more aware of these things and the messages and symbolism of stuff, and also to be able to know about certain things and become educated in different aspects. I'm not talking just like politics and of everything happening in the world, but to be able to say, okay, so regardless of what major you go into, this is why this works the way that it does. So I think that's like a blessing to be able to have those things. Now, the reason why I say it's a curse is because then that's when you realize, oh, not everything is all happy go fun in the world. Like there's a lot of things that may not be good, and as you get older you realize those things, and at points in times it can be depressing. And regardless of what viewpoint you have, it can be depressing to see certain things, to see all of the bad in the world, and to be able, it's like, whoa, I'm becoming an adult because I'm understanding that the reason why this and this happens is because of this. So
what do you think has been most impactful in helping you to form what side of views you stand on? Because it would be easy to see what's going on in the world and say, well, because of this, I'm going to go in that direction versus going in a different direction.
Growing up, politics was never a big thing. It was just something that maybe we talked about for 30 seconds and then let it go. It was never a big thing growing up. So
dinner time was not about
politics or religion. And if it was, I always remember the conversations we'd have about religion were really short, 30 seconds. They're like, you can believe in whatever you want to believe as long as you believe in something. That it's just please don't be an atheist. That was all they asked. They're like, you can, whatever is, just believe in some higher power. You don't have to be exactly this. You don't have to be exactly Catholic, Christian, Baptist. You don't have to be like anything within the realm. Just believe in something. And that was real short with religion. When it came into politics, we never really talked about it, honestly. I think once me and my brother got older and was were able to vote, that's when the conversation became a bit more, because it was also never like, you have to be on this side, you have to be on this side. It was, you're free to do whatever you want. It is your voice. But don't, the only thing that was asked was, don't be rude and harm people. That was the only thing that was asked. It doesn't matter what side you're on. Both sides have their good, both sides have their bad. Just don't degrade people. Don't make them feel that they are less than they are, because everybody matters. And yes, that is the very rose-tinted colored glasses to be put on, but you don't want to teach your family that there's just only pure hatred in the world and there's never ever going to be anything good. There's going to be some good, no matter how fruitful things may seem. So looking at what is happening in the world, looking at politics, and yes, there's still a lot of learning that I need to do when it comes into rules, regulations, laws, policies, all of those different things. And it's slowly getting there, and it's maybe because I'm not particularly in political science. At first, I didn't want anything to do with politics because I saw how it could tear people apart. Mm-hmm. At first, I didn't want anything to do with it, but then now I realize that if you ignore it, then you're part of the issue. And your voice does matter, no matter what people say when it comes into voting, and it doesn't matter if it's presidential, if it's local, that people like to say, oh, well, my vote doesn't count anyway, so I'm just not going to vote. No, your vote does matter, and it does. And
not only does your vote matter, but your voice matters.
Yeah, and when it comes to the protests that are happening everywhere, and especially the ones in the high schools, a lot of people...
So tell us about the high school protests. Are we talking like the No Kings type of protests?
No, I'm
or
talking about the ones that are happening right now. The ones that are happening against ICE. The No Kings one, I don't think we saw any while kids were in school. I think we saw them during... The main one was during the summer. The other one, I think it was in October. Mm-hmm. But people like to say that these kids don't know anything, that they're just trying to cut class. And that may be true in some aspects. Some kids will do anything to get out of class. But I think these kids are aware of what's going on, and I look at it as people will be upset if these kids are not involved in anything. But then once they are involved in something, they're upset because it's not what they want them to be involved in. And yes, there are going to be consequences for cutting class, for doing a walkout of some sort. There are going to be consequences. I can imagine that some of these schools will tell these kids that if it continues, okay, then you won't be able to do this, or this, that are like big parts of high school. Like, okay, these athletes might not be able to get to play in their games. These kids might not be able to go to their school dance. And at maybe at a very extreme level, because you're skipping class, you may not be able to graduate. Those are consequences that I feel these kids do take into consideration when they do that. And maybe that's a price they're willing to pay. And people like to bring up the statistics of, okay, well, we are this percentage low in math, English, language arts, all that stuff. Yeah, that is a big issue. And a lot of that could also be to that I feel teachers do need to get paid more. Mm-hmm. For the work that they do, and a lot of it is budget cuts, and some budget goes to certain things. A lot of it goes to their sports, because that's one thing that is really important is high school sports, and a lot of that budget funding towards sports does not go towards the academics and the education. So
let's talk a little bit more about being aware, because I was just looking up this post that my daughter did, who lives out in Connecticut. And her son, this is her 15-year-old, he said, "Hey, Mom, did you hear how they're trying to make another Super Bowl halftime show with some guy whose song says he likes underage girls?" She says, "Yeah, hun, that's Kid Rock." He said, "And did you see how Trump posted the crazy stuff about the Obamas? He's trying to create a distraction when he's mentioned in the Epstein files thousands of times." I said, "Yeah, hun, that sounds about right. It was disgusting and racist." He said, "Yeah, okay, off to gaming." So even though kids are into gaming, they're still aware.
It depends on how early in politics they become aware. I think the one point in time when I was aware of politics was that, okay, when Obama ran, I was like, oh, so the president's gonna go twice, like 2 terms. Great, cool. That was the only thing I knew about politics. And then when Donald Trump came into office, the media, of course, social media took the turn, and his whole build the wall thing. That was the only thing that we knew about politics, and then that was it. And then now I feel that it feels like it's something new almost every day. And that's why kids are becoming more aware. It's becoming on their social media feeds.
So they're becoming aware, but the whole thing that a lot of people want to use is indoctrinated. The schools are indoctrinated.
No.
They're indoctrinated because of the Hammond sending kids to college, so they go to a professor not at Purdue, and he's that indoctrination thing. I saw this wonderful video you had about indoctrination,
And
radicalization.
what radicalized me.
Yeah, and so let's share that because I think it's really cute.
They're gonna be
because
like, "What is she doing?"
Because it talks about what kids have grown up seeing.
Yeah. I think
to
it's one of
cause them to actually be able to. I see people in your generation as being a group that's willing to speak out.
But I think it's also because why people are so, like, putting all of these kids down and telling them that you don't know anything, stay in school, all that stuff, is because this is the future generation, and they're the next round of voters.
But they're afraid of that round of voters.
Because it's going to vote out ideals that they currently have. And it's not, and we can look at it at both sides. Either it's going to vote out ideals that are already happening, or that it's going to, it makes them worrisome that if, they're not learning all the proper things and they won't know what to vote for. But a lot of people won't know what to vote for. Hi, Gino. So, I found this video, and I don't know if it'll play. I hope it does. It was actually a really funny video. Let's see if we can download
Welcome,
it.
Gino. Come on in. Have a seat. Come join us. Love listening to you on Saturdays and all the wonderful music you play.
Got to give a little shout out here.
So definitely. Gino and I go way back to cable TV days.
Let me see.
Let's see. Is his
here.
mic on?
Oh, let's see.
Hold on. We're
Mic
going to get
4.
There you go.
There we go.
you are.
Hey.
Good morning, buongiorno, and che paso is Gino. Verly, good morning.
Wonderful to see you.
Mike-
I've been hearing you for a long time.
Wait a minute.
On Saturdays, but not seeing you lately.
You're the one who listens?
I do listen.
My goodness. I better watch what I say from now on. Of course, my nutball co-host, Dave Ennis.
Hey, everybody.
I always tease him at he comes from the shallow end of the gene pool.
Shallow end of the
Dave Ennis is so stupid. Get ready, folks. He is so stupid, he thinks that Elon Musk is a men's cologne.
Well, he is a little musky.
Speaking of colognes, can you by the way, today's
King of
Ladies' Day.
one-liners.
Today's Ladies' Day, and I'm so sorry for interrupting Ladies'
Okay.
Day here.
No, we had a man earlier. Two
you-
men, in fact.
Do you smell a scent in the room?
It must be musk.
No, it's not musk. I wore it just to tick off Jim Dedelow. I put on Aqua Velva this morning.
Oh, my goodness. But you have to hug him when you do that.
I know. I don't want to get punched in the stomach. Believe me.
You
Give up my
laugh.
breakfast there. So all that. I know. Every time it comes around to the topic of East Chicago, Jim says, "Yeah, Aqua Velva. It's smelly." Jim, it's a scent. You don't have to smell like BO. How about Aqua Velva? One of my favorites is Old Spice, and that was my father's favorite for many, many years.
Old Spice was like what we grew up with.
And
kids smelling their dad smelling like Old Spice.
Yeah, Chad says, "What's that smell?" Jill, it's a scent. It's a scent. You shave your face nice. Oh, by the way, I'd also like to point out that I'm wearing my uniform today.
I
Not
love
just
it.
not just they're used jeans, but at least they're. It's not a headband and a dirty sweatshirt like Jed wears, okay?
You look great. We can't talk about Jeb when he's not here to defend himself, and then I have to
I know
be his
he's listening out there.
Yeah.
I'm going to get that Gene on Saturday, but I'm going to get him.
So how'd you get that nice sweatshirt and hat and everything?
I bought it. I bought
Okay.
it. As actually, my wife ordered those many years ago from some Well, you just turned me down.
A little bit,
can't-
yeah.
I
You're
can't
fine.
hear my ears, sorry.
Oh.
I am
He's
partially.
of that generation like
There you go.
they like to hear
Thank
themselves
you.
loud
Yeah.
in there.
I know. I did too. I like that.
My hearing is going in my right ear for many, many years of playing loud music since Jim Dedelow was, let me think, 3 years old. When Jim Dedelow was 3 years old, I was in my first rock band.
Wow.
I don't often like to give my age away, but I am only, let me think, 10 years younger than Jim Dedelow's father.
Really?
You folks figure that one out. You can, and that all that being said, at my advanced age, well, it kind of reminds me of when I was 10 years old, and I'd be goofing around making silly jokes, and my mom said, "Act your age, will you?" Mom, I'm 10 years old. I'm 10 years old here now. At this point, after what I've been through with my heart attack in 2013 and cancer last year, my goodness, and survivor, by the way, cancer survivor. Fought till the end. Well, I mean, chemotherapy didn't do it. The radiation didn't do it. The infusions didn't do it for over 6 months. Finally, operation, surgery.
Really? So you had to have surgery?
Colostomy necessary. But that's, once again,
Whatever it takes to keep you here.
whatever it takes. You know what it really comes down to? It's a bypass. Really. It's a
Right.
bypass. My heart was bypassed in 2013, and I was fortunate enough to get my butt in when I should have. And I really must say this early on. I should have paid attention to the early signs of colon cancer. And I got to say, in all honesty, in all disclosure, they say full disclosure on the radio, right, really? It's, I took one of those Cologuard tests several years ago, and it came back positive. I didn't have any other symptoms. I blew it off as
Really?
as a false positive.
So you didn't even go get a colonoscopy?
Wrong thing to do. Wrong thing. I tried the colonoscopy at first, and they gave me that horrible pre-surgery drink,
Right.
and I couldn't handle it. I actually got sick on that. Now, it's changed in the past 3 or 4 years.
It's a little different now.
Now they've got this berry-flavored drink, which is better to get down and easier to get down after you've got a liquid diet for one day. At any rate, hey, things are fine. I lost like 30 or 40 pounds. I was down to 122 pounds.
Wow.
Which is, yeah, less than my wife weighs. I'm very happy to say that I am putting on pounds now. I lost my appetite, as most people do when they're going through chemo, and you get this metallic taste in your mouth. And right now, I wonder if my cousin Lee is listening. He's going through the same darn thing. Ben, he's got this cancer in his blood, which is just horrible. But at the same time,
type of cancer?
yeah. At the same time, every week, it seems as if we're getting new ways to cope with cancer and other. And it seemed like one advancement breeds another advancement. Like, that one failed. No, it didn't fail. Let's talk about failures. Post-it notes were a failure.
Why?
Yeah. Yeah, because they were looking for an adhesive. 3M was looking for an adhesive, the Post-it notes, and they kept on falling off. Wait a minute, that's only temporary. Well, wait a minute, we can make temporary notes out of that then. Viagra, the same thing. That wasn't meant for ED at first. That was meant for something else. All of a sudden, hey, this can help somebody else in some other kind of condition. So once again, this technology keeps on spinning and growing and growing. Very cool. I believe in science. I believe in technology. I believe in the great doctors I've had. The people at Community Hospital, now Powers Health, I know, but I won't stop calling it community.
Right. Still Community Hospital is just under Powers Health. Right.
And I am so grateful that we've got this medical, what I call medical midway, down Calumet Avenue. Once you get south of the Walgreens there, my goodness, Community Hospital, the Diagnostic Center,
Dr.
where I go for
is there, and
yeah.
lots of
I mean, and there's just yesterday.
Franciscan further down. It's
yeah. The Diagnostic Center where I go for my PET scan, CT scan, and then of course the Northwest Cancer Center. Now, many people confuse that with Northwestern Hospital. That's not affiliated with the hospital whatsoever. They do two things at the Dyer Cancer Center. They do research and therapy. And the people there, I'm telling you, of course, they pick the the best people to be in that cancer center, because I'm looking at Adriana right now. She's got that smile on her face. When I call these the $1 million smiles. Yeah. And every time I talk to the people at the Dyer Cancer Center, I said to them, you got to realize those $1 million smiles don't just mean anything to me. They mean everything to me. And they do two things to me. They put me at ease, and most of all, they help me to forget why I'm there in the first place.
Oh. Yes.
So, and I was in the at the Dyer Center yesterday getting my checkup with Dr. Kassar, who's my quarterback out there. He's the head guy. And Dr. Kassar said, hey, everything's looking pretty good, this, that, and the other. But have a CT scan next. I'll be having CT scans probably for the next year or so, and a PET scan. Hey, whatever it takes.
Exactly.
I've got the insurance. I've been paying Medicare for so. Just do it. Just do it to it like Sonny Pruitt, okay?
That's right.
I'm through with this cancer jazz.
Keep you around here.
Yeah.
We need to hear those tunes in the mornings, you know.
Saturday tunes from 10 till noon. I should have brought a CD with me and brought my little 15-second promo.
We can't just do that. Oh,
I think I do. I do have that. So if you guys want to talk for a little, no, brought that wrong.
I
Sorry.
think you've got it. You might have that in IMAX. I think, Adriana. I'm not too sure about that. But
I
anyway.
do have the 15-second promo that we can play real quick for you guys because it is. I believe it is one of these. Yep, here we go. I remember I was putting them in all the different ones. So let's do this one. Let's see how this one sounds here. Let's see here.
Buongiorno and que paso, it's Gino.
Hey everybody, it's Dave Innes.
Ladies and gentlemen, a reminder that the live WJOB broadcast week does not stop on Friday.
Yeah, Region Bandstand, the music break in your talk show days, Saturdays from 10 till noon.
Yowza, Dave. We take to the airwaves to serve up our own unique blend of music, humor, special guests, phone calls, trivia, and more.
Top 40 big band, jazz, Motown, TV and movie themes, golden classics, a one-hit wonder, and even novelty records on Comedy Corner. And I always enjoy those great facts and backstories that you present about the songs, Gino.
Region Bandstand will be the antidote to the negative-sounding radio. No politics, no yelling, no screaming, no name-calling.
Would that be
no
us?
Kidding.
And I guarantee you will hear songs that you have not heard in a long time, and some songs that you've never heard. Expect the unexpected, you guys. Often imitated, never duplicated. It's Region Bandstand. Remember, Saturday tunes from 10 till noon.
On the bright spot on your radio dial, WJOB AM 1230 and FM 104.7 in Hammond, and online at tunein.com.
There we go. Beautiful.
See, Laura, you can tune in on Saturdays and you don't have to hear the negative talk.
Well, let's see. I owe you a hot dog, Adriana, for playing that right now. So we'll go to
Big
lunch
Frank
sometime.
Sausage.
Oh, no. We're going to go one up from that. Freddy's Steakhouse.
Oh, they have hot dogs there?
No, that's the
No,
sponsors
no,
of
that's-
Region
Oh, but
Bandstand.
they have hot dogs. That's the thing. He didn't offer you a steak.
Although the poor boy steak sandwich is very, very good, I've got to say. I
have
just
to go. I have not been there in years.
They revamped the menu, didn't they?
They revamped the menu. The outside of the building is painted. The inside is all newly lit and newly designed. It is really, really fine. The only thing that stayed the same is Jim and Tammy Camrat, the owners. Shop local, folks. There you go. I just flashed on something when I was coming in here. Adriana, did anybody tell you or show you the back way into WJOB studios?
Yep, it's somewhere over there.
Okay, somewhere over there.
Somewhere
Come on.
over there. I don't go that way.
But you may need to one of these days.
But don't share that with anyone else out there.
I won't.
Okay.
But there's a back way. I think just take that that driveway back there.
Oh, yeah, I know that. That's
Okay.
that's the way I take to get here.
Okay, because one of these days you're going to get stuck by a train, or maybe going out of here. You can't cross Indy Boulevard off of 164th here if there's a train sitting there right there. So
Well,
there's a back way out.
The train is going
Just turn north. Just
right,
turn north,
I go south, so
Yeah.
I don't worry about I don't have to pass the train.
You go south for the winter. Okay, very good.
Yeah, I just go south to 8094, which I won't do
I
today.
found out that pathway when we first got here. I was like, okay, well, let me see all the alternate pathways I can use to get here. And I found that little shortcut. I was like, I like this shortcut. We're using this.
And speaking
Adriana, we are after 9 o'clock,
I
so
know.
we have to.
It's all right.
did
I
you
mean,
do
we
a-
usually have podcasts from later on, and we played extra breaks. So,
Did you do legal ID at 9?
well, we kind of did. Well, with that one,
With your radio show.
with your radio spot,
Your
you're listening
radio
to
spot was
you're
correct.
listening to WJOB 12:30 a.m. 104.7. We're here talking with Verly and Gino. I remember you were coming. Yesterday you were coming into. We were going to work the phones because it's a whole new process here, and our next show isn't until 10 o'clock.
So I'm going to leave so you can train Gino, so he'll be all prepared for Saturday.
Before we had a switchboard. You remember that one? It was
old
really just like a keyboard, right? That was easy. Now we've got a computer for the telephones. And I said to Dave Ennis well, as a matter of fact, Joe Cimino said this a few weeks ago. Could we possibly have a few more computer keyboards on the desk, okay? We've got 4 right now.
1, 2, 3, 4, and if you count the laptop, 5.
I'm not counting that one, my dear.
But
Jeez.
she has a different board than what we used to have in the old days.
That's
where
for
everything
sure.
was plugged in.
Right.
And I
Right.
think he's got a bunch of those around here, though.
Yes.
But we don't want to pull those back out.
I miss that auto board. I really do. It was so easy to work.
And you don't even use a telos machine, right? Everything, all the phone calls are going through.
the.
People don't know this, probably. People outside of Hammond do not know this, but me and Verly shared the same public access TV studio in the 1990s. And let's see, Dave Ennis was there naturally. Dave Ennis invited me to take the 8-week training course. So I got on there and all of a sudden learning to work the cameras and editing tape, this, that, and the other. And I found myself being a producer, director, camera operator, and floor director. Once again, only for the people in Hammond. And when they closed the East Chicago public access TV studio,
All these Chicago people went to Hammond.
Verly came over, and Carlos Godinez, God bless him.
Carlos.
I love him so
Carlos.
much.
He was our producer.
He called himself Uncle Chuck.
Yes.
And there was Uncle Chuck's Red Book of Poetry. Such a fun. He was such a fun guy.
Most
God bless you,
definitely.
Carlos. I know you're up in heaven listening.
Yes.
But all that
Juan
being said,
Andrade and I, Colleen Aguirre.
Oh, yes.
We were
Yeah.
all.
let it
the
all
truth.
hang out. And it, of course, let's see, every so often we had Your Time at the TV studios. Once again, only for the people in Hammond got this on Comcast. And Your Time, I believe, was on Wednesday. 5 minutes for the public to talk about whatever you want to talk about, almost anything you want to talk about without bad words and ribald language. Don't you love that word? Ribald language? Okay, look that one up later on, Adriana. I'm kidding. But you really get a keen insight into what is happening in people's minds. And I'll say this to you, Adriana. You've been here for a short time. I've been here 17 years. And I've produced more programs than mine in the past. I probably produced over 10 programs. Veterans Views. I produced programs for Janet Vanez. I produced the Alsop Nursery program. I can go on and on and on. But my point is this. It's amazing what you hear when the microphones are off.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I said that to Patrick O'Donnell after one of the Veterans Views radio shows. I said, Patrick, I've heard everything from public access TV and the radio here. And what I often do, I'll pull one of my earphones off so I can hear what's happening in the studio, much like they do. Oh, Verly, you should know this, that the airline pilots do this, right? They only keep one of their headphones on so they can hear what's happening in the cabin. Okay, all that being said, it's amazing what you hear when the microphones are off. I'll say this to Adriana, Joe Cimino, Matt Kaufman, whoever's ever out there, all the interns. Listen to what is said when the microphones are off. You will get a keen insight to what people are really like.
My thing is to just always make sure the mics are not hot when everyone thinks that they're off.
You know what this reminds me of? Just back and forth with the Democrats and Republicans. Oh, you suck. No, you suck. No, you're on the wrong side. Why do you have to be a side? This reminds me so much of sports. I know we're big sports
Well, you have
network
to
right
pick a
here.
side when it comes to sports,
There
right?
you go. You a Cubs fan or a Sox
Yeah.
fan? Cubs. Oh, you suck. Sox. Oh, you suck. There's two sides,
Mm-hmm.
and they're constantly at each other. But it's just amazing to hear what goes on. Again, Adriana, when the microphones are off. Listen to what people say. I don't care if it's Democrat, Republican, Independent, Libertarian. I'll just throw this one out here real quickly. Am I a Democrat or Republican? Well, I'll tell you what. When I first moved into Hammond, Indiana, I voted for Dwayne Dedelow, who was a Republican. I thought he was doing a darn good job.
Yes.
Seemed like a good guy to me. I voted for him. Tom McDermott came in, and I voted for him. Why was he really a Democrat?
He was a Republican.
He's a Republican.
But he ran as a Democrat.
Exactly, because his father was a Republican. And do you think he's going to go away from that? No.
He had to have them change his party. So he could
Absolutely.
run.
I mean,
and run and win because he knew he couldn't beat Dedelow as a Republican.
Exactly.
So yeah.
Exactly. So I voted for him too. So what am I?
Dedelow was too beloved.
And once upon a time, I voted for Bob Barr. Who's that? Once upon a time, I voted for Gary Johnson. They were both libertarian candidates for president. Well, that's the choice. Oh, you're wasting your vote. No, I'm not. I'm voting. I just don't like any of the candidates. That's all. So once again, I say, Adriana, God bless you. Listen to what's happening.
I am going to leave. I just want to say goodbye. Gino, it was great seeing you. Adriana, I'm going to leave so that you all can take the training time together.
No problem.
And it's been a pleasure. I know we could talk for hours, but I'm going to say goodbye.
No problem.
Well, it was nice
Thank
seeing
you,
you
Gino.
again.
It was great seeing you.
Well,
Always good
we'll
seeing
wrap it up real quick because it's 9:17 a.m. So we're gonna play a little bit of music right now, and then we will be back at 10 o'clock for Of Notoriety with Phil Patempa, Tony Panic, and Luke Miller. They do the show every Tuesday as well. So,
I like that show.
Yeah.
Maybe
so-
I'll hang around and say hi to Tony.
There you go. Yep. So we will catch you guys tomorrow morning. We are back live again at 6 in the morning. I believe it is the morning call with Tom Daverton.
Thank
So-
you, ladies, for letting an interloper pop in here.
Thank you
I know it's Ladies' Day here, so
Oh, you're welcome anytime.
I love you, ladies.
Yeah, we'll catch you guys next time.
At Sophia Learning, we believe in making education more accessible and affordable for everyone. That's why we offer online college-level courses that are transfer-friendly. We know students are real people with real challenges, but Sophia can be a real solution. Sign up today and fast-track your degree.